Oh, is that you? All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I want to say welcome everybody to the first official meeting of Student Government, Student Advocacy Council of the fourth body, first meeting Tuesday, July 15th. We will go ahead and start with attendance to my right.
Ruby Paul present.
Patrick Cervera, present.
Steffi Calero present. Susana Villagomez present.
Maria Garcia present.
Emma Fox present.
Hey Barry present.
Rowan East present. Sky Childress present.
Cyrus Holt present. William Coates present.
Matthew Rathman, present.
Awesome. Thank you all for attending today. We will start as we go through the meeting. I'll kind of just talk through each step as we're moving along for those who have not been here, just so we can get it on record that, we're helping y'all get educated. We're moving along. So we'll start off every meeting with a verbal roll call. And then from there, we typically move into if there is anyone online who needs to announce their attendance, we'll go from there. Next is reading of the mission statement. This was added to the agenda just to ground us in the work that we are doing, the work that you are doing as students, who you're here for, why you're here, and what our purpose is today. So does anyone want to volunteer to read the mission statement? Go ahead, Sky.
To support the evolving needs of the MSU Denver students by advocating in their best interests to enhance the university experience and opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Typically, we'll move into approval of the agenda. Approval of the agenda is any last minute opportunities for folks to scratch something off the agenda, add something to the agenda, thereon and so forth. I will make a notice that in the Constitution, there is a 72?
The 24-hour?
24-hour notice that must be given for amendments, bills, resolutions that come through the council. That 24 hours is to allow everybody on the council to properly be able to read that document and come to the meetings with feedback, clarity, and opportunity to discuss and engage. This is something I do want to, I don't want to say harp on, but this is something I do want to strongly suggest we do a great job of doing this year. You will get into the midst of your academic coursework. You will get into the midst of your extracurriculars, and you will get into the midst of your involvement. Just take time. This is a priority for all of us. Make sure you're reading those documents, because when you come to the meeting and you don't read them, it's just going to lengthen the meeting where efficiency is at an all-time high. Moving forward this year, we have voted, or the body, you all have voted that the meetings will be held on Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. There is, as we mentioned before, a strong expectation that you are in person unless you have something that is, something that's going to take you away. We don't want to make it a habit nor a crutch of online meetings. In-person engagement is crucial as we work with the students. In-person engagement allows for proper discussion and development of ideas, so on and so forth, so that we are giving it our all. As we all know, living through COVID in 2020 and the adaptation of hybrid and Microsoft Teams, when you're on Teams sometimes, especially if your camera's off, who knows what you're doing? Who knows if you're, dancing in the bathroom, or if you are not paying attention, texting X, Y, and Z. We want to make sure your engagement is at an all-time high. Yes.
Do we have a room for that meeting yet, or not quite?
At this moment, this room 400 will be our meeting space. We do often face that the university kicks us out for other vendors or higher leadership meetings, X, Y, and Z. A battle I am constantly facing. Me and the executive assistant are always privy to that, and we try to address it in the moment. Sometimes it happens to where the on the day of we have to pivot. That is leadership. But the meeting is always virtual. So say if there is a snow day, campus is closed. Per the last Constitution, I remember, that means there is no meeting. But if there is a weather advisory and the school's open, like in those instances, we're cool with being online or transitioning to online meeting with proper notice. But something I do want to reiterate, in-person engagement, show up, be present, be here to advocate for the students. Questions, comments, concerns? No? All right. So approval of the agenda. As I said, running the meeting today, once we pass it off, or once we complete this meeting, the advisors, we will work with the co-chairs on properly running a meeting and kind of getting that flow down. So I will run the meeting today for you all to make it efficient and kind of educate you all as we're moving along. We move into approval of the agenda. So I see here new business, discussion and vote on how to do the co-chairship committee elections, the elections, resolution to continue the delegates pilot program, discussion on the website. That is all for new business. Any last new business that needs to be added? What? Okay.
I motion
Moving-
to approve.
Well, before we get there, I want to kind of rearrange a couple things just so that or actually, no, this is pretty good. Never mind. So yes, do we have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, so
Seconded.
hold on, as Sky said, so moved, or if someone was to reply, I move to approve the agenda, that's basically them putting into action that there is a vote to move forward. After so moved, then there are a couple different ways. Someone pass me the document you made? A couple different ways we vote. Typically by TSAC, what we do is we do unanimous vote in opposition, or if it's something that was pretty heavy and everyone has kind of been contended on, we will do a verbal roll call vote. Does that make sense for everybody?
Can I clarify something there?
Go ahead.
This document that's being passed over, you can keep passing it to Armando. This document that's being passed is just a draft. It's just something that I've created, based on what I've observed during TSAC meetings. It's loosely based on Robert's rules per our constitution. I would want us to, in some way approve of it, but that's just a cute little reference sheet I made. FYI.
Correct. As they have mentioned, the meeting has adopted a loose adaptation of Robert's rules, Bobby's rules, whoever else you want to say. The purpose of this is to keep the meeting running. The purpose is not get caught up in the weeds. So I do want to reiterate that. The goal is to just make sure that things are efficient. Questions, comments, concerns. So we did have a motion on the floor to approve the agenda. I will, let's say, vote in opposition. Does anyone oppose? Say aye. Anyone abstain? All right, for the record, all approved unanimously to approve the agenda. Typically, we start every meeting. If we are starting at 5:00, typically we kind of give like a 5-minute buffer, let the co-chair start with the housekeeping items, attendance, reading of the mission statement, approval agenda. Then we'll move into public comment. Public comment is an opportunity for the university students, faculty, staff, community members, whoever feels so warranted to come to a meeting and they want to talk to y'all, this is their opportunity. Public comment, I believe each person in the public has 5 minutes to make their comments. This is something to where the members on TSAC are not intended to reply in that moment. It is comment for them to come, but that is where you start initially creating that relationship to say, thank you for coming. We hear you. We agree, we disagree, X, Y, and Z. Let's chat some more. It's an opportunity for the public to come and to a space for them to reiterate anything that's going on that they feel needs to be brought up in front of student government. Like I said, typically 5 minutes pass and then we allow it. That is something you all can choose as you see, we're moving to 5:00 meetings. What's best for you all, and that we will it'll be a kink we'll work out for like the first couple meetings, see what best works and go from there. Understood? All right, so we'll open the floor for public comment. Do we have anyone in the public who wants to make their presence known?
Sure. Yeah. I guess. Ooh, I get. Does this work from this distance right here? It does. No way. Wow. I won't touch it. Okay. There you go. Well, Will invited me up here and all, and I guess just one thing that I think is really quite important. I have wanted to set up a club for quite a while now. It's with Young Americans Foundation. It is an activist group of conservative ideals, essentially, like that. You know, I feel that it's good on a campus to have a good mix of both, especially on popular issues that I see here on campus. One of the biggest ones that I see is the whole, Palestinian and Israeli issue and things like that too, and just bringing the other perspectives so that we can get a whole collective view. I'm in need of creating a team still. I did have people who were willing to do this, but one of them moved to Texas. He was actually my vice president, or was going to be my vice president, but can't do that in Texas. So for those who know somebody who may have these kind of ideas, would be interested, be happy to talk with them and see if they're interested in helping me set up this club and everything. And then as far as something that I don't know how much you guys can kind of help with this, I know that with parking, even though parking is fairly cheap and everything too, there is a placard that I'm considering on getting, a purple placard that allows for free parking except for on private lots, or at least that's what one person has said as well. If that is going to end up being a problem, it'd be great to figure out how this placard, which is Colorado wide, it's a statewide placard that applies to all anywhere where you have to pay without giving it to somebody. What's it called? Meters. Any meters. It'd be great to also be able to get that here if that can work as well. That would save at least those of us who do come up to campus at least 2 times a week. For a whole month, it could save us $128, things like that as well. But you have to go through the courts first to get this kind of a placard as well. So if that's an option that it can be free per state law at AHEC, that'd be something that I'd get, that I think would be great for those of us who would need it and who could benefit from it. So just some ideas. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Any other members of the public? Going once, going twice. Typically, this time frame is 15 minutes allotted in the agenda. If anyone pops in, they have the floor. So what we would do is we would stop, whoever, let that counselor who was speaking at that moment finish their agenda item and then go back to the public. But typically, we would love to always give that 15 minutes of uninterrupted time to the public. Questions, comments, concerns? Everything sound pretty smooth so far? All right. Moving into new business, item A, discussion and vote on how to do the chairship and committee elections. Typically, how we've done in the past, obviously the advisor and or if there's a previous co-chair, whoever run the meeting. What we are going to do today is we will run through each position. We will call for nominations. You are allowed to nominate yourself. You're allowed to nominate a peer. Once that nomination goes up, our executive assistant here will record it. We will ask that person being nominated, if it is not a self-nomination, do you accept? Give yourself about 10 seconds to think about it. These are some big roles, y'all. Give yourself some 10 seconds to think about it. You accept or deny the nomination. Once we have the finalized list of nominations, we will read them out loud, just so everyone knows. Probably take a good 3 to 5 minute recess just to kind of prep ourselves. If there are contested positions, let's do, in my opinion, due to the sake of time, it's 3:14. How does everyone feel about a 2-minute speech per person? If it is more than 3 people, we'll do 1 minute and then 3 minutes of deliberation. Anyone have any options? Consider, Sky?
Yeah, I would like to discuss how we should do this and not only hear your proposal. I'm not trying to say anything. The Constitution says the council should decide, and I actually have a proposal, if that's all right.
Constitution does not have anything in terms of voting. I made sure that this morning and last week, but I would love to hear your proposal first.
Yeah, the Constitution says the council shall decide how they elect the co-chairs or chair, vice chair, and how they elect the committee chairs. My proposal to the council is, I've done some thought on it, trying to think about what might be some of the most efficient ways to get us out of here. Not out of here, but get us through this process, and also reflect the council's opinion as best as possible. My thought process is, and I'm happy to discuss before I actually make a formal motion, is that we sort of have an open nominations period for the standing committees as a whole. Not just one at a time, so that we can go just a little bit faster. And also you can hear, if someone else has nominated you for something you haven't thought about yet, you can sort of hear all of them at the same time and sort of decide which ones you want to accept or not accept, and then try to run for. After we close the nominations period, then we could have a couple minutes each person to speak about any roles they might be nominated, accepted for, and then us vote. That's my proposal to the council. Does anyone have any thoughts on it?
Is there a motion at this point, since we're moving into a kind of formal discussion to figure this out right now? Is there a motion on the floor to propose an X amount of time to discuss this before we move forward?
How much time do we have to plan it out?
Theoretically, we have the room until 5. So, but we don't have to be here.
I think if it's a little bit too contentious, if we have like 3 or 4 people going from one position, I think we should get a little bit more time than just 2 minutes.
To speak?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that, but I think the layout is what we're trying
Can
to
I
figure out
clarify?
first.
So just to simplify this, we don't need to make a motion about how much time we can debate this motion. Okay, I'm just gonna make a motion and then we can debate it, and then vote on it. I feel like that makes the most sense, and that would save us the most time instead of voting on how much time we should deliberate on this motion anyway. So I motion that we have an open nominations period for the standing committees, so the chairship, the accountability, sustainability,
The standing committee.
the standing committees, all 5 standing committees. Open nominations period for those 5 committees. And then afterward, vote on them after we have time to discuss them.
So there's a motion on the floor to enact Sky's proposed plan for the standing committees. Does anyone approve? And then it would go to a vote or approve,
So-
whatever.
So
Question.
there should be discussion on this motion. Somebody has.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So basically, we're making out a voting decision. We nominate the position and then we all talk about the nomination and then we do the voting?
Yeah.
But wouldn't we have to discuss internally about the position of who we exactly want to vote? Because what I recall is we nominate the person, if they accept the nomination, then they walk out of the room. We have a discussion about who is the best fit of this nomination chair. Then they come back, we do a poll, and then we vote from that. That's what I recall from last time.
So yeah, they're.
Are we basically skipping that or?
It's up to you all. That's what we're trying to figure out right now.
I will clarify. So I don't see any language in the Constitution saying that's how we're supposed to do things.
There is no
and-
language.
No,
And
that's what I recall from
yeah.
last time.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is I don't see any language in the Constitution saying that's how we need to do things, and I don't think that we should necessarily exclude a person, because the meeting's already public anyway. I think that there will be more than one person for some of these positions, and so it wouldn't really make sense to kick 3 or 4 people out and have the rest of the people decide who gets the position. I don't know that maybe.
I don't think it's essentially the same thing as you're doing, except during the nominations period, the individuals are nominated or nominated themselves, have then the ability to take some time to go gather up their speech, because it's gonna be between, if it's contested, they go out, take the speech. During that time, the rest of the people wait here. The nominations come in, give their speech about why they should get the position. And then after that, we have them leave the room again. And then as a council, excluding those individuals, because we don't have biased voting, we discuss about which one sounds best for us. We deliberate the voting and then we vote after, once everyone comes back in. And everyone has the ability to vote for themselves or for them.
Okay, I see Emma and then Faye. No, you're good, please.
So I guess I'm confused on what we're debating. I think the format that Will was talking about, or that Patrick's talking about is fine, like the leaving and not leaving. Are we just debating whether we're settling who's nominated for the roles before we take the votes and go out? Or, like, I guess I'm confused
I
what
can
part of that.
Yeah, so the Constitution leaves it up to us to how we want to vote. I made a proposal. We're just debating about that proposal. So I was being told by people who were here before me that last year, what they had done was had people leave the room after being nominated, collect their thoughts and come back in. I would advocate for not doing that. The reason I say that is just because the meeting's already public anyway. I don't see why we should tell someone they need to leave the room while we deliberate about them. And I think that if someone's nominated and they accept the nomination and then we have an election and they win, I wouldn't see an issue with that sounds all above board and above table to me. It sounds a little complicated to nominate each person, have them go outside, us deliberate about it over and over again. I am perfectly open to doing it however everyone else wants to do it. I hope to make a proposal to make this simple. If it's not going to make it simple, then I am happy to.
I think I want to clarify because I think where you're
Yeah.
confused now. We go, so let's say we do co-chair, we open it up. Okay, who's nominating co-chair? Let's do an example one. I nominate Sky, Sai nominates Rowan. Do you accept yes or no? Once you figure that out, then from there, we keep moving to the next position. After all nominations are completed, then we go to the contested positions. And that's when the folks, okay, first person come in, give a 2-minute speech, while the other contested individual is outside. Then we flip, then the council debriefs, and then everyone comes back to vote. I'm sorry
Okay.
if there was confusion on
So
that.
making it to where fellow people running in the same election don't see the other person's speech.
Correct.
Okay, that
Yeah.
like that makes total sense. I don't think we should be deliberating necessarily about the person outside of that. Just like, yeah, sorry, you had me confused. Okay.
Well, there's a deliberation period because as a council, you have to choose who you feel is best fit
Yeah.
for that role.
What I'm saying is deliberating once everyone's back in here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you deliberate once the nominated folks are going to still wait outside for another 2 minutes, and then the group comes back and votes together.
Okay,
But there's no
I'm-
deliberation at that point.
I'm perfectly amicable with that on the way that I want to do this. I want to, the meat of this is I want to do all the standing committees at the same time. So using that situation, all the standing committees at the same time, and then we can deliberate separately about each position after we've had all the nominations period. Does that satisfy people?
Up to you all.
I'm trying to make it
I like
faster.
it.
I have
I
no qualms
like
with
it.
anyone.
I like it. Let's go for it.
So if I'm understanding correctly, you want to do nominations for standing committees only first, and then are we going right into elections for those standing committees, and then after that going back into nominations for everything else?
That's what I would want to do. Obviously, there'd be like, deliberations and any people want to give speeches before that election period. But yes, that's how I want to do it.
Yeah.
Is do the standing committees, elect them, and then do the advisory, because once you know your standing committee positions, you can kind of see what you want to do for advisory based on your capacity. If you're a co-chair and you're chair of something else, maybe you don't want to try to pick up a couple, so it would make it easier, and I think it would better help us advocate for students as we pick our committees.
Understood. So I think maybe friendly proposal to merge the two. We will go through standing committees, nominations and elections first. Once those are set, then we will continue with the rest of the positions. Do we have a
motion?
Would you ask unanimous consent for that?
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, do we have a motion for unanimous consent or unanimous consent on that? Everyone
Is
say
anyone
aye.
opposed, essentially?
Someone
What
else.
we're asking.
Does anyone oppose for that? Or questions? Yes.
So we have to vote on the chair and the co-chair as well. Are we having the majority of votes for both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything is done by majority. Any oppositions to voting in that manner? All right, so for the record, what we'll be doing is we will be voting for the standing committees first. That essentially means co-chairs, accountability, budget, sustainability, public relations, and then faculty and staff senate representatives. Or no, not that.
No. Just the five.
All right, so what we will do to begin is I will run down each. We gave a motion, not a motion, we gave some description as to what position was what, allowed you all to think about it throughout the time. This feedback is. Yes, Sky.
Yeah, I was motioning for just like an open nominations period, so just open the floor for people to be like, I nominate this person. Were you gonna go back over the positions? I apologize.
No. I don't want to go back over the positions. What I like the open nomination. That is fine. I think for ease of our executive assistant gathering everything, I think one by one may be easier, just so he knows what's going where, because if we start having people just start shouting things, it's gonna get a little rowdy. So raise it.
I agree with that.
So I think people would still raise their hand, you would call on them, and then the person would then accept it. That would give the executive assistant, 20 seconds or so to try to write one down. I think it would be easier. And that was what my motion was intended to be. So if that's okay, I'd love to do that.
Okay, so
Beautiful. I'll motion to open the nominations period.
do we have a second?
Second
Do we
them.
have a second? All right.
If you'll just ask unanimous consent.
Yeah, I would say, anyone opposed to this? Anyone abstain? All right, record shows unanimous consent. So I will, I guess by a show of hands, and we'll kind of start, or let's make it easier. Okay, Sky.
I want to nominate Matt for accountability chair. Could the person nominating give like a 2-3 second or 5-10 second little bit why they're nominating or no?
Let's make it less than 15.
Okay. I have seen them work last semester on the accountability committee when I was a delegate. I really appreciated the way they carried themselves in meetings. And I really appreciated the way that they handled the Constitution and all of the things that accountability works for. And even in the work that I've been doing over the summer and with them, they've reminded me of the mission of the accountability committee. And I think that would best serve if they were the chair.
Matt, do you accept or decline? Cool. Anyone else? These are for our internal standing committees. Will. So accountability, co-chair, PR.
Can we just start with accountability?
Yeah, let's start with accountability.
I'm gonna get confused.
So open nominations for accountability committee. Emma.
I want to nominate myself for the accountability.
So do you want to give a 10-second speech on yourself?
Sure.
You don't have to. You do. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm really organized. I really like interpreting different documents and stuff like that.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sorry.
I'm really organized and I really enjoy interpreting different documents and things like that. I think I'll have a really good understanding of our Constitution and I'm experienced with handling interpersonal conflicts as well.
So thank you for that. I'm assuming self-nomination, you accept your nomination? All right. Anyone else for accountability committee? Giving it to educator 7. All right, last call for nominations for accountability committee. Once, twice. All right, moving on. Nomination stands. We have Matt and Emma for accountability. Move. Next, we're moving into budget committee. We are accepting nominations for the budget committee. Patrick.
I nominate William Coates for budget chair.
All right. William Coates, do you accept or deny this nomination? You can't see yourself. I don't know what you're looking at.
I respectfully decline.
So, thank you for that. Sky.
I'm gonna nominate Irvi. I know they're an MBA in progress. I know they're very excited when it comes to finances. And I, having observed their behavior on the Tulane trip, I believe that they would make an excellent budget chair and carry themselves well during meetings.
Awesome. Thank you for those kind words. Irvi, do you accept or deny this nomination?
Can I just pause it and move?
We can come back to you.
Okay.
Can you put a note on there so we can come back to them? Anyone else for budget committee? All right, going once, going twice. All right, Irvi.
I would like to nominate Patrick.
Awesome. We have a nomination for Patrick Severas. Patrick, do you accept it? Severas? Sorry, I apologize.
I would like to have some time to think about it.
All right, we'll come back to those. Anyone else for budget? All right. Moving on to PR committee. All right, I saw Sky, Patrick, Irby.
I've made quite a few nominations. I'm gonna hold off. You can come back to me in a second when they're done.
Gotcha. Patrick, Irby.
We do just, how many nominations? Just one?
You can nominate as many people you want.
I would like to nominate,
One at a time.
yeah. Firstly, I would like to nominate Susana Villagomez for PR chair again. I was her co-chair. She did an excellent job, and she also knew how to move you if you needed to be moved. I also have to nominate Irby Powell. Instagram stories are very well, so PR I think should be just in your nature. Honestly, she's very communicative, and as a delegate last year, we worked closely in PR, so she was an excellent candidate and honestly a very great help. I think she did most of the, not most, but she helped out Susana a lot during the finals event, Food for Finals event last semester. And I would like to nominate myself because I did pretty good.
We have three.
And I have a lot of
nominations.
ideas,
We have 3 nominations: Susanna, Irby, Patrick. Thank you for that. Irby, who would you like to nominate?
I would like to nominate Susanna because she is very dedicated to what she does, and she's also part of the PR for the last 1 year, and have seen her doing events, how organized she is, and I would like to nominate Steffi for PR because I have also seen her doing a lot of social media things. I have seen her stories, Instagram stories, how she socializes with people, and I would also like to nominate myself.
All right, so we have Susanna, Steffi, and Irby. Sky, did you want to complete your nominations?
I was gonna nominate Susanna, just based on the work but people have already talked, so based on the work that I saw last semester. Anyway, thank you.
Anyone else? Any other last nominations for PR? Going once, going twice. All right, so we have Susanna, Irby, Patrick, and Steffi. Susanna, do you accept or decline this nomination?
I accept my nomination.
All right. Irby, do you accept or decline your nomination?
I accept my nomination.
Okay. Patrick, do you accept or decline your nomination?
I accept.
Steffi, do you accept or decline your nomination?
I accept.
Awesome. So we have 4 contended positions. Ooh. Perfect. Next, we will go into sustainability. I will do Will, Sky. Will?
I nominate Sky.
That's it? Cool. Anyone else? Not Sky? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I nominate Faye.
Okay. Irving?
I nominate Sky.
So, anyone else? Last minute nominations, going once, going twice. All right, so we have Sky and Faye for sustainability. Faye, do you accept or decline this nomination?
I will respectfully decline this nomination.
All right. Sky, do you accept or decline this nomination? You are more than welcome to decline and we will open it back up.
I accept.
Awesome. So we will accept. And then lastly, we have our co-chair nominations. This position does require 2 folk, so please do keep that in mind. We will open it up. Will?
I just want to clarify.
Go ahead.
Because it was assumed from what I've seen, what structure we're going with.
That is also correct. Let's do, it'll be named co-chair at this moment, and then we will allow you all to decide in your next meeting if you choose to do co-chair or vice chair positions. How does that sound for everybody? Sky?
I was actually going to suggest that once nominations closed, we decide the types of positions for each one. Like if we wanted to decide if PR wants to be 1 or 2 people, or I was going to motion that we do that, and we can just do that after nominations are closed. For now, you're just nominating someone to the chairship. Is that okay?
Who wants to vote on either platform or either method? The ask is, which way do y'all want to do? Do y'all want to determine today or do y'all want to determine later?
We'll determine later on the vice chair, the co-chairs thing.
Okay, is that unanimous across the council? Does anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? Okay, so for co-chair, we will determine at a later date. For internal chairs, shall you all choose to do a co-chairship for any of the internal committees? Do y'all want to choose today or a later date? You are more than welcome to appoint a co-chair later on. I do want to allow that. So if you all want to say we're doing one and then you want to bring someone to bring up with you, I think that's more than a.
I think that what Patrick was trying to say just a second ago, and what everyone else just agreed to, is that we wait on the chair slash vice chair slash co-chair of the body until a future date. And that settled the question, right?
Well, you also propose that if folks want to do co-chair a committee here, that they're allowed to do that today. That's what I'm asking. Does everyone want to do that?
Oh,
Well, so can I talk?
Go ahead.
Sorry. The reason I say that is there's more than one person nominated for certain positions. And so if we're about to vote on them, we need to know how many positions we're voting for.
Correct.
I will ask unanimous consent now. If we can just hold off on deciding if we want to do chair versus co-chairs for the committees until after nominations is closed, but before we vote.
Okay, Faye.
I was just gonna say, one, we've already, for all of the standing committees, we've already put up all of the nominations, so I think that decision could be made now if we wanted to. And two, I believe that we should make the decision on the 4 standing committees that are not the chair versus vice chair decision. I think that we should decide that today.
Agree. So co-chairship we have later date. Other chairs we have today.
I asked unanimous consent just to hold that off until after nominations closes. I asked for that to be voted on.
Does anyone oppose for unanimous consent to have this conversation?
I have a question. I'm confused. So my question, so from what I was understanding is we were still gonna continue for chairship for like stats, because that's a standing committee, right? It's to be chairs.
Mhm.
We're gonna vote for that. It's gonna be for 2 positions. However, determining if it's vice chair or co-chair, that will be a later date. But the voting for the position itself for positions will still be held on today? Okay.
All right. So co-chairship. Open nominations. We are opening the floor for nominations, Will.
I nominate Patrick Cervera and Susavia Gomez.
Okay, so we have Patrick and Susana.
Susana, excuse me. Apologies.
Anyone else? Sky.
I'll nominate myself.
So, Susana.
I also just wanted to stay at that. I want to nominate myself too.
So, Maria.
I also nominate Patrick.
Okay, we have Patrick. You got everybody. Patrick.
Nominate for Patrick.
Patrick. Okay. Are you Patrick? I'm Patrick. Any other nominations? All right, going once, going twice. We have Patrick, Susana, and Sky. Patrick, do you accept or decline this nomination?
I accept the nomination.
Susana, do you accept or decline this nomination?
I accept the nomination.
Sky, do you accept or decline this nomination?
I accept the nomination.
All right, so please remind me, correct me if I'm wrong. What you all want now is a small 3-minute recess to go into contested positions. Before you prep, we'll let that Sky, go ahead.
I would expect us to now vote on the structure of these committee positions. So if it's 2 co-chairs for PR, 1 chair, how we want to vote on that. We just voted to do that now, I believe.
If I recall last year, we had 3 co-chairs in the beginning of the semester for PR.
Whatever structure it would be. Whatever structure it would be, I believe that's what we decide now. That's what I was expecting.
Faye, before let me.
Um,
No, go ahead, Faye.
My suggestion was just going to be that we leave it up to those people nominated if they are willing to accept it as a co-chairship or if they would rather run as a contested position.
Sorry.
Okay, we heard Faye, Matt, and then Will. Or did you not have anything, Will?
I do, but
Okay, Matt, please.
I think what he's probably trying to get at is with the accountability committee, there is no option of co-chairs
Correct.
as there is 1 chair and 2 appointed.
So the committee nominations that we have stand. Co-chair, Patrick, Susanna, Sky, all contested, all will give a deliberation or a speech. Accountability, Matt and Emma, only one chair for that role. Budget, we need to come back to Irvi and Patrick. You are both to be D on accepting or denying those roles. So for budget, coming back to Irvi, do you accept or decline that nomination?
I accept my nomination.
Awesome, thank you. Patrick, do you accept or decline the nomination?
Can I go for vice chair?
Sure. That means you're accepting and then you all figure it out from there.
Mhm.
All right. And then last, Sky is uncontested sustainability. You have accepted that, so you are accepting that you will sit in that chairship. I'm assuming that's correct.
Indeed.
All right, so we have our first elected folk of Sky and the Sustainability Committee. And then public relations, we are contested Susanna, Uri, Patrick, and Steffi. Here's what I will propose to you all. Do you want heaviest first and then subsequent will fall after in terms of how we vote on these positions? So do co-chairs and then fall after. So co-chair, accountability, budget, and then PR? Or would you like to do the opposite? I saw Sky, Will, Pat.
So I was expecting before we start voting for us to decide the structure. So the co-chairs, we're not deciding today for the body. I expect us to now decide the structure for the accountability committee, budget committee, and the PR committee, but not the accountability.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is
That's
still
important.
standing. I'm just trying to map out our votes when we're done that deliberation.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Sorry, apologies.
Cool. Will.
Just a friendly suggestion.
Yep.
If they're willing to share it. PR is a very heavy load, if I remember correctly, so that could potentially streamline this whole voting process for the PR, the most contentious committee.
Patrick, we will go in order of less. Emma, did you have a hand up, Maria?
No.
Okay, so Patrick, Emma, Susanna.
So from last year, we had 3 different co-chairs for PR. If that, it isn't limited to 3 nor 4.
Nope.
So, there isn't really a limit like that, like the accountability committee or the chairship. Or the budget, the budget does have for vice chair.
Yeah.
But for PR, I think it worked pretty well last year. I mean, I think we did a great job together collaboratively. Of course, you don't have too many chefs in the kitchen, but I strongly feel like between 4 individuals, you do have a lot more capability with the more individuals, especially if it's such a heavy lift like PR. Last semester, I know we had technically the whole council was part of the PR committee, not necessarily chairs, but they were part of the committee. However, the chairs did have the responsibility of everyone else to take care of.
Thank you. Did you have a direct response or just further adding yourself to the queue?
I have a direct response to it.
Go ahead.
I mean, likely theirs is probably on the same topic though. So are yours as direct responses as well? Okay. I feel differently. I feel that that all 4 of these people should be members of the PR committee, but I feel that it is useful to have a smaller number of chairs than 1/3 of the council. So I would put forward a motion to have 1 chair and 2 vice chairs for the PR committee this year.
All right, there is a motion put forward on the floor. Does anyone want to second that motion to vote on or to accept that?
I will second that motion.
Awesome. So can you reiterate what you are having them discuss or vote on? Sorry.
Yes, I motion that we have 1 chair and 2 vice chairs of the PR committee.
So bringing the chairship to 3 folks for the PR committee, leaving we have 4 folks. So you would be voting for 3 people. Vote in opposition. Does anyone abstain or is anyone against that motion? Does anyone abstain? We got 1 abstention. All right. So everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that motion passes. So where the PR chair will be a 3 committee, 1 chair, 2 co-chairs. Just to reiterate for everyone, sustainability is already set. Budget committee is a chair and a vice chair. Accountability is a chair and then 2 appointees. And then co-chairship is 2 folks that we will determine what that looks like afterwards. Emma, I want to get back to make sure that we heard your.
I was just gonna say for those at this end of the table, since you're running for a lot of roles, would it be easier for you guys for us to vote on like co-chair first so that you know how much of a workload you have and then make a determination if you want those other really heavy workloads? Just so you don't spread yourself way too thin and nominate yourself for all these roles. Would you prefer that? Just as a proposition for you.
Love it, yeah. Yeah, any direct responses to that?
So it was to vote.
So I think the new proposed order would then be co-chair, PR chair, accountability, and then budget.
That sounds good.
All right. Anyone else? Sai and then Sky. Sai, I saw your hand up earlier. You're good? Sky.
Yeah, I was just gonna motion to formally approve the vice chair and chair of the budget committee as the order. Because we didn't actually formally approve
Something
that.
that the budget committee chooses, or is that what the council chooses? All right, good.
Per the guidelines of the budget committee, which was voted on through the Constitution, which is part of it, it is a chair and vice chair position. It is, I'm not sure if it's co-chair. I don't remember it saying, I just remember saying chair, vice chair.
Cool.
I think is that the question?
Is that right? Is what I'm asking?
So, yes, that is correct, but I don't know if that's addressing your question.
I retract my motion. Thank you.
Okay, you sure? Because it's a valid question. It's a valid motion.
I just, for a second, thought that they just verbally agreed to that, and I was just gonna have the council adopt that. But if it's already constitutional language, no need.
Gotcha. All right. So now, if I'm correct, you all want to have some time to deliberate before you move into elections and speeches? Or is that what we just
I
did?
think right now, if we give us time to.
Okay, so it is 1:30. Oh no, it isn't 1:39. It's 3:47. Let's call for, does anyone want to put a motion or a certain time of recess on the floor? Sky?
I was just gonna ask, the first election we're going to have after this recess is the co-chairs?
The order will be co-chair, PR, accountability, and then budget.
Okay, and after this recess, we're going to have some period of
After
time.
this recess, everyone will come back in. We will do nominations one by one. So, for example, Patrick, Susanna, and Sky. Patrick will come in, give 2-minute speech. Flip, Susanna, 2 minutes. Flip, Sky, 2 minutes. We will do a 3-minute discussion amongst the council here. Bring everyone in. Brandon will throw a poll into our Teams chat, and we all will vote that way.
Okay.
Cool.
I do have another question.
Yes.
Remind me of the number of people that are running for each position. There's 4 for PR with 3 spots. There is how many for budget with 2 spots?
So we got 3 for co-chair, so 2
Yes.
people will be elected. We have PR. PR is 1 chair and 2 vice chairs. What are you doing? We have 4 people going, so 3 people will be elected. Accountability is 1 chair and 2 appointees, so this is going for the chair. This will be 1 person going for that. And then budget is 1 chair and then a vice chair. Shall they choose to accept? Well, I think that's what you were going at earlier. Shall they choose to accept that model? Whoever gets the vote, they can then vote to go for vice
So,
chair.
sorry, how many total people are running for budget chair?
2.
2, okay, and then 2. Okay, so,
Yeah.
sorry, before we recess.
You need a second to think? Wow.
I have it now.
Okay.
So my thought process is we should be voting by ranked choice vote for the chairship and for the PR instead of just a poll like in the chat and like a Teams chat poll, which is simple plurality instead.
Is that what's in the Constitution?
It's up to us.
Okay. So
That's my proposal. Yeah.
Let me double check that, but I'm
Emma,
pretty sure,
and,
yeah.
Emma, and then Faye, and then we'll get back to this voting method. Emma.
Sorry. I know that like Patrick was nominated for a lot of roles, and I know he might not want to accept that budget role until he knows if he's like a co-chair. Do we want to just redo the budget at the end since everybody was a little iffy on that? Like, is that, do you care?
I would like to speak as well.
I was simply curious if we had a way to set up ranked choice voting quickly enough to make it efficient for this meeting.
Yeah, I'll respond to that quickly. Yes, I absolutely know a way to do that. I can help Brandon with it, and Brandon can do it independently from me. And then I had a point after my direct response.
What is your second point?
I was gonna say, I think we should just vote on the co-chairs or chairship and then revisit that question afterward, because that may sway whether or not they even need to do that. So it'd just be simpler.
All right, so is there a motion on the floor to rank choice vote for our co-chair elections? Does anyone second?
And the PR. I'll make that motion.
I second the motion.
Okay, anyone in abstention for ranked choice voting for the co-chairship and the PR chairship? Any opposition? Any abstention? So all approve, you will be voting ranked choice for PR and for co-chair. That moves forward. Yes, Scott.
Motion for a 9-minute recess to come back at 4 p.m.
Understood. Any opposition? So I have friendly member for 5, Faye.
I was just gonna motion for a 4-minute recess to come back at 5 p.m.
I'll second that.
So you accept 4 minutes?
I do.
All right, so we have a motion for 4-minute recess to come back. Any oppositions? Or does any seconds, I'm sorry? Anyone second?
Oh, I second. Sure.
Scott seconds. Any opposition? Any abstention? All right, please be back by 3:56.
No, that's fine. I didn't want to do less than 5 because people want more time, but then I also didn't want to do like an odd number. So I was like
9 minutes. We
It's
got
fine.
more. When we first started talking about these, things, like 3-minute recess, come back to 50, nope, after 50 now, a 4-minute recess. Definitely doesn't make any sense.
No, yeah, absolutely. Well, this is like high key one of the hardest meetings we're doing. It's so many like questions of like how we want to do things.
Yeah.
Did you all want to copy this last round? I made 12 for everyone.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but you doing okay?
I like Andrew.
It's good.
You know,
Preparing for the long meetings that you're gonna have, right? Yeah.
But
Right? Those were
I can understand other copy.
well, I'll vote after that conflict. He knows what he's doing. He's gonna. I didn't want to. I didn't. I know. He'd look at his name.
But I think that's better than the previous.
Yeah.
Whether
What do you do?
we decided or person. Yeah. It'll be the points. I don't really care. I don't want too much. All right. Good luck. I'll let you.
You already agreed for simple, which rank.
Like, that's the things that I don't really care about how we work in here. I want to do stuff. Define that. Given the quality.
Everybody, how you doing? Good thing. So how you gonna end up,
Good before that.
I was the second. Everything. Back. If you think you got that, I'll. We'll have.
No, that's very funny. That left what you got later. I just sit here away.
You got your speech ready?
I just thought myself.
No. What the?
Nah. I don't think I would have to do that.
Yeah.
So you got it.
Dude. Especially when you have more.
He's downstairs.
Yeah.
Is it about welcome month?
They kind of blend in. Well, as long as it's ranked choice voting.
You have to sign it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Technically.
Sign it.
Yeah. I don't think anything with like,
Yeah.
like, it's not coming down. You want to make it.
Now we're not going
I make it a conversation, but I don't think I think there's a by cat. Just. What they said they could, they would agree to that.
I hope we don't talk too much.
When I was last year.
About our neighbor. Yeah.
Cause then it would. This.
Yourself, I went to see you too. My doctor, I did, so that's why we.
You're.
But you're at the bottom.
Free one.
I was there for a year.
Running it
20
under to like mentor.
even be
So that's.
there.
Susanna.
If they're two running, they seconds. Yeah, fair. So.
My name is.
They'll be. So. Yeah, let's do. And they'll be about to close to actually officially close.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. I researched this last couple of days. Sorry, I respected at least one or two of this. The full plurality is just usually not a very good representation of this guy.
Can you go and gather the other folks?
I can, yeah. I'll grab them.
It is 4 o'clock. You said 3:59.
You said 3:56.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a 4-minute recess.
yeah. That's also the reason that I said 4 minutes, because I knew nobody was gonna be back in 4 minutes. But if we
Well-
said 9, people were gonna be back in 15.
Good call.
Yeah.
Because it's 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Good.
And then, we didn't set the, this is out of meeting anyway, but we didn't set the exact time for the amount of time. Candidates will get to speak about their position before for the election. So whenever we start back, if no one else says, I'd love to have a motion to suggest that. So.
2 minutes, we didn't establish Q&A.
Yeah.
Q&A.
So I'll say 2, 3, 4. 2-minute vote, 3-minute Q&A per position. not per person.
Not, we'll be here all night.
Exactly.
We plan to.
Do we know if there's a thing in this room afterwards? Will they kick us out at a hard
They're
time?
not gonna, I don't know if they'll kick us.
I don't think they have
The
anything.
day- the day is over at 5, but
They just come in with security.
Yeah.
just Brian.
Oh, yeah.
For this here, we need the room. So we're having a filibuster here. We need the room.
We're gonna be here for 19 hours straight, actually.
Yeah, actually,
God.
actually.
all right. Is everyone outside just waiting to be called in?
You just didn't know what kind.
Okay.
I let them know it was time, so.
Yeah, that's fine. So since Sky is already in here, or since everyone, hey, please come in, sit down. We are already behind time. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through co-chairship first. We will allow 2 minutes per person to discuss their platform, 3 minutes from Q&A from your fellow counselors, and then at the end of everybody, we'll have a 4-minute deliberation with the contestants outside. Moving forward, we will begin with Sky. So Sky will go first. Patrick, Susanna, if you could please step out for us. We will have, once Sky goes out, we'll have the next person come in. All right, Sky, do you have timer? Once timer is up, Sky, you have 2 minutes to give your platform.
Okay, hi. I wrote a little thing, but I'll partially look at it. So last semester I was a delegate and I observed TSAC a little bit. And I got to look at our constitution. And you heard me talk about it a little bit earlier, the structure of our chairship. I see that our chairship has two things. It is just parliamentary order during meetings and attending president's cabinet. I want that to just be parliamentary order during meetings and have the president's cabinet be a separate position to take some of the hierarchy out of it. But as it stands now, it is both of those things. So I am absolutely running for both of those things. I think that I am good at maintaining parliamentary order during meetings so that meetings can go quicker. I tend to have a pretty good grasp when it comes to motions and when it comes to how to maintain those things and ensure that voices are heard. I'll tell you that if elected chair and I'm facilitating a meeting, I will absolutely act impartially. And when it comes to who I, call in to speak, etc. And then I will absolutely speak professionally and represent the council to the best of my ability during the president's cabinet meetings if elected to be a chair. I will take in information from the president's cabinet, report it back effectively to the council to then get your opinion on it, to take it back to the president's cabinet meetings. And I would be absolutely honored to be one of the co-chairs this year. Thank you.
You have 30 seconds left. Are you choosing to move?
I am.
All right, awesome. Moving into 3 minutes of Q&A from the fellow counselors. Please keep the questions consistent with all the members. Any questions? Yes.
How do you plan to remain impartial? Just name some methods.
Either my chair or my co-chair or my vice chair, depending on how we decide that, hopefully would check me as best as they can. I will individually check myself and in my brain consider in my actions calling on someone to ensure that I'm not calling on someone because of their views, but because their hands up. I'll try to make sure that everyone gets an equal opportunity to speak based on how quickly their hand went up. And just really ensure that my sole job is just to ensure we're not all yelling at each other and instead we're talking civilly and speaking one at a time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Questions? Faye.
How do you see the co-chair position collaborating with the other chairs?
Ooh, that is a good response. So, that's a good question. So the co-chairship calls on people during meetings to speak. There's a certain section of every one of our meetings that's set aside for updates, for announcements, for report backs from the chairs. I think that it's really important for the chair to collaborate with those other chairs of committees to ensure those people are ready for their committee report backs, to ensure that they have everything they need to be successful. In addition to that, one very important thing when it comes to the meetings and it comes to the committees is the business of those committees propose and ensuring that that business is done with at least 24 hours notice per the Constitution so that everyone can look at it and ensure that that is fair. And I will absolutely hold accountable the chairs of those committees when they present business.
Emma.
This role requires a lot of organization and moving parts. Can you give us some examples of ways you stay organized?
Yeah, I really enjoy printing out things, especially when I need to reference it really quickly. I also make sure my computer is really organized and my notifications are off whenever I have to go to do something. I have been in development stages with working with the executive assistant we had last year and currently to sort of streamline our voting recording process so that the chairship can work adequately with the executive assistant to ensure that we're recording that properly. And I plan to use that as one of the ways to stay organized.
Any other questions on the floor? You have 30 seconds left. Going once, going twice. No. Thank you, Sky. If you could pull Susanna in.
Of course, thank you.
Hello. I'll just sit over here.
All right, you have 2 minutes on the clock starting now.
Hello, all of you may know me as Susanna. I just want to say I am appreciative that some of you have nominated me, but have been thinking about this role for a very long time, even I believe I started thinking about it from last semester, really thinking of like how I want to improve as a leader, what ways I could grow myself as a person. From past experience, I feel like I could just say my whole academic year of last year have showed me a lot of ways to push myself and get out of my comfort zone and have put me in difficult positions that I needed to make a decision based on what I thought was best. For example, I am part of a sorority, Lambda Theta Nu, and during that time, we, as a chapter, went through a difficult time. It was a position I did not want to be in. It was a position I thought I was struggling in. It was a position I wanted to leave, and I just wanted to focus academically. But throughout this position, I have realized that being put into a position and placed and being elected as president last minute and finishing the end of the term and trying to drive my chapter to continue, even though some of the things we wish that didn't have the outcome, but we did it as a group and we did it as a team. And I feel like as a leader, we have to listen to each other and we have to compromise or even disagree with what my sisters and I have thought was not the right path or the correct path or etc. And this position have made me realize that I could become more than just president, which is why I stepped down from president and wanted to hopefully get this chair as co-chair to learn has more. But yeah.
All right, we'll open up for questions. 3 minutes for questioning. Will?
Same question as for Sky. How do you plan to remain impartial? Just name some thoughts or methods as to if you were to be elected into the co-chairship, how would you try to remain impartial during your term?
Can you specify that for me?
Sure, like. Oh, sorry.
Unbiased.
People aren't, they claim to be completely impartial, unbiased, but that is largely not the case, especially around politics or like pushing certain, resolutions, amendments, beliefs, etc. But you as the chair or co-chair, excuse me, need to remain impartial even to your own biases. So I'm asking you, if you were to be elected, what are some methods you would try or implement for yourself to remain as unbiased as you can during your position?
That's a good question. I think the first step I would have done would just talk to every council member to hear and listen to their opinion. I feel like everyone voices really matter because without all of us, we wouldn't really be here. And then after that, I would go to all our advisors to see their point of view, how they could advise me with this, whatever situation it combines, and help me not to be unbiased in any matter way. And lastly, I just feel like I had to collect my own thoughts too, because one, I am a person, I do have my own opinions and thoughts, and that is true. But seeking and listening for advice from my advisors and hearing my other council members is gonna help me become the less unbiased person I could be.
Thank you.
How do you see co-chair collaborating with the other chairs?
How do I seek what?
The co-chair position collaborating with the chairs of the other committees.
Less than 1 minute.
I think that I would just are you just asking how I would collaborate with other committees or just with the other co-chair?
With other committees.
I think just from past experiences, I have collaborated with like other committees and gave out my own opinions, my own advice, or how they could have helped me how to improve as a person too, or like areas they think is, oh, we should add this, or we should add that, or I should add this, or just seeking different advice. I think it's just not my opinion only. I think it's just everyone if we want to collaborate together.
10 seconds. Emma, do you wanna?
This role requires a lot of organization. Can you tell me how you stay organized?
The main part that have worked for me the most is taking one day at a time. And just like tasking down like one task and then the next day another task and another day another task. Just okay.
That is all. Thank you. Can you bring Patrick in, please?
Yes.
Put the microphone on there.
Quick question.
Yes.
Armando. Just wanna make sure that
Quick,
the time was
2, 3, 4 deliberation after.
right. Okay, just making sure.
Was that it?
It is cool.
All right, you will have 2 minutes to give your opening or your convincing speech and then 3 minutes for questions and after. 2 minutes starting now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Patrick Silvera. Pretty sure everyone here is acquainted with me to a certain extent. And I did want to first begin by saying I wanted to say thank you to everyone who nominated me. I appreciate the nomination and the trust and the faith that goes on with that nomination. And I wanted to further support those nominations with why we should vote for me as co-chair. Beginning, I have a lot of experience in management experience. I have a small company, finishing carpentry business, working statewide from Pueblo, Colorado Springs, Denver, Aurora, Westminster, Wheat Ridge, Brumley, Pueblo, and various different projects with different teams and equipment, materials, communications, the grapevine ladder in order to speak with which superintendent, which with my crew members, with my employees, which were my fellow executives in my position. So for me, I feel like I have a lot better way of being able to communicate with people, be able to give people their time to speak, be able to have things function a lot more appropriately and efficiently. Efficiency for me is a lot of key thing. And it's particularly like not just in the meetings, of course, which is something that I do wish that, I do plan on being a lot more constructive and being a lot more straightforward when it comes to like an easy flow, one where people don't feel like they're being silenced, or one where people aren't going on tangents, one where we can be productive with our time, be able to manage everything, a non-biased individual, someone who's here to listen and does what our mission statement is. And outside of that, with the responsibility of president cabinet and all other duties that we have, it's something that I have already experienced in from last year and last semester. And it's something that I'm confident I can complete without any trouble here and be able to respect my comrades. Thank you.
Thank you. Questioning, Will.
How do you plan to remain impartial when you're, or if you are to be elected into the co-chairship? Just like methods, thought processes, etc.
My thought process is simple. We were all here elected with a majority vote. Through that, that's how we got into our decision. Each of us have different opinions. Each of us are different. We'll have unique, experiences that we have to our own knowledge. Particularly in some, there will be some contentious things I feel, but for my interest is outside of my own personal beliefs. It's more in line with the university beliefs, our mission statement, the goals that we all together in groups, Irby, Will, Cy, Maria, Steffi, Rowan, all of us got together and started to make goals, and I was a long part of that. And that's something that I want to continue, whether it was my goal or everyone else's.
Thank you.
Okay.
How do you see the co-chair position collaborating with the other chairs?
With the other chairs, the co-chair, for me, it's much more of being given a defined position a role within our meetings, and being able to just continue the car that we've already built, continue the structure we already have. Just making sure that it's followed, making sure it's something that we could continue moving as it should be. If there's any hiccups along the road, that's something that I feel like would be easily manageable. I don't see anyone here that's going to be, too crazy or anything like that. And, everyone has, I hold respect for each individual here, for their thoughts and their beliefs, and also for our ideas and our goals here. But I do believe we have a united vision. I think we have the same goal, the same achievements that we want to see here this semester. So it's something that I think we'll go work along well, since we have the same ideals, same goals.
So,
Can you describe ways that you keep organized, since that's so important to this role?
Organization is going to begin with following the agenda. Firstly, it's going to be seeing what items need to be addressed. Given, for me, public comment is extremely important and something that we upheld here throughout my experience here in student government. So for me, it's just a matter of preparation, practice, and due diligence into what my respective role is. Whether it's making sure that we don't get too off track or too off topic, making sure we're going to go on our tangents and make sure we stay on clear for what's on the agenda, respecting each of the individuals' times that we have, because we have a lot of guest speakers that come in. So making sure that we follow that, and making sure that, hey, if someone keeps on speaking out of turn, like, we got to calm it down, because we all have a lot of things that we want to get done here.
Thank you for that. Please wait outside. We will let the council deliberate for 4 minutes. Can you put 4 minutes on the timer, please? All right, 4 minutes beginning now. I'll open the floor for discussion. Please just take this as free conversation.
Yeah, I think Sky and Patrick gave us both tangible, things that they can do in this role, in this position. I think Sky will, be an expert in their parliamentary procedures and, administering a meeting. And I think that Patrick is also very organized in how he, communicates and how he gets things on the agenda. So those are my two.
Patrick seems to have the most experience with the student council in general, and a lot of passion for it. And hopefully he has the organizational skills and the foundation for that as well.
I think Patrick is a good fit for chairship because he's very organized and his communication skills are really strong. So I think he would be a great to the chairmanship. And I also think that Sky can also take over the chairmanship because she is very intelligent, I'd say, and she has really good ideas popping up in her head all the time. So I would say Sky and Patrick.
I have a question. So Are we voting those 4 minutes or after the 4 minutes?
So the way that Scott created the ballot for the ranked choice voting, she put both co-chairship and PR on this. So you will hear PR nominations after this,
Oh,
and
okay.
then you will vote for both of those first.
All right, sounds good. I would just like to add on how, yeah, Patrick has experience, of being in TSAC this past year, and I can see him being a qualified person to be a co-chair. And while Sky, doesn't have that experience, I can see how she has the passion and the knowledge to be a great co-chair as well.
Righty.
Anything else, Mel?
Yeah. I think reiterating many points already made about Patrick. Patrick is a fantastic option for a co-chair. I've worked with him multiple times across SAB, accountability, in his own budget committee. Very organized person. Very willing to accept feedback, and I think that's important, right? I think that's always good for interpersonal relationships with other committee chairs, hearing out the ideas of other counselors that might not be committee chairs as well. And Patrick really does fill that role. I think he'd be a great co-chair. Speaking on Susanna, personally, I have.
45 seconds.
Thank you. I've seen her work very hard last year, especially when at times it seemed like she was working alone and like really carrying the PR committee. So her work ethic is out of the roof, and I do think Susanna would also make a great co-chair. She is a very organized person. I've seen her stay in the office till like 8, 9 p.m. with me. Very hardworking individual, and is also very receptive of feedback. I think that's important.
So 10 seconds left. Any other comments? Going once, going twice. No? All right. That is time for the co-chairship. As I mentioned, the way that the ballot is set up, you are voting for co-chair and PR. So keep your votes in your head. We will move into PR. So we have Susanna, Irvi, Patrick, and Steffi. So please bring Sky back in. Irvi and Steffi, if you can step out of the room. And then we will do the same thing. This is 4 folks. So I will do. Let's just do 2, 2, 2. Is that okay with everybody?
Sure.
Yeah? All right. Irvi, since you're here, do you want to just go first? No? Okay.
Respect, honestly.
Real.
Yeah.
Call somebody. All right. We are bringing in the contestants for public relations chair. We will be voting on one chair. The 2 vice chairs will be determined after the fact. Or they will, yeah, in the ballot. All right. Steffi, for this, as we have 4 contestants, we are doing a 2, 2, 2. 2-minute speech, 2 minutes Q&A, 2 minutes of deliberation post everyone. So 2 minutes on the clock. Go ahead. Floor is
All right.
yours.
My name is Steffi, and I'm interested to run for PR committee because while in our training with some of you like Patrick or Irvi or Rowan, I have expressed interest with the outreach and engagement activities, planning events, building academically and professionally and holistically driven events. I have a little bit of experience being part of a PsyChi as a volunteer coordinator, where I would coordinate places to volunteer with our organization. And this upcoming year, I will be serving as a fundraiser coordinator. So it kind of goes hand in hand with PR. I am passionate about advertisement, hosting events, and I know it's not just putting up a flyer and posting on social media. It's more than that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to building a community and building a bridge between TSAC and the student body.
Thank you. We are opening up for 2 minutes. Will?
If elected into the position for PR chair, or however we divide it up, how do you plan as the chair to multitask all the different events and PR related, I don't know, events, I guess, because there's multiple and I've seen them, and it's sometimes a balancing act or juggling. Like, what are some strategies you would use to be able to balance everything and still handle it?
Yeah, great question. Initially, the first thing that comes to mind would probably be being organized from my end. So I do rely heavily on my Outlook calendar, planner, reminders. I do consider myself a very organized person that can, always check emails on a daily, replies people in a timely manner. And also I would rely on my team, like the vice, I don't know, the co-chairs in the PR. So like the other two people in the PR committee, I would rely on them. And also I can ask for help when needed. So if needed, I will ask for help from the advisors, from other counselors, or just basically be willing to take any feedback as well.
Thank you.
20 seconds left for Q&A. Sky and then Faye, if we have time.
How will you manage the budget that you'll be allotted?
Yes, so I will
10 seconds.
I will for sure look back to what Suzanne and Patrick did in the past to kind of give me a template on how they did it, if that worked or not, and just basically learn from how they did it. Yeah.
That is time. Thank you, Steffi. If you could pull someone else in.
Yes.
Yep. Hi.
All right, Patrick, we are moving to a 2-2-2, 2 minutes of speech, 2 minutes of Q&A. So 2 minutes on the clock starting now.
All right, everybody. So this will be my second year running for PR committee. This time I'm choosing for the chairship. My reasoning for this, similar to as for my co-chairship, my manager experience, but not only that, but my experience within the council for PR. There's a lot of events here that I want to continue promoting that I didn't finish last year, beginning with the immigration IPS services. I wanted to create an event specifically organized for first generation students in order so we can participate and understand a little bit more about the college experience and expectations ahead of this semester. That way we can do projects. Also, it was looking to do more further community-driven events. What I mean by that is more within MSU Denver itself. I'm talking about the organizations, the clubs that we have here are active in engagement with us. I wanted to have a much more organized way that way, so we can have a schedule, a more communicative events set out, rather than having 3 different Halloween events going on from the same campus at the same time in different places. So I'd rather to have more organization there, be able to get our name out there. I already have a structure out that's already laid in mind. And with the more individuals we have here, the more passion and the more goal-driven people that are looking for PR, I think we can get a lot of these
30
things done.
seconds.
And I'm very cooperative with people, and I like to work together, and I like to hear ideas. And, I know when to put my foot down when it's needed, but most of the time I understand that we all just have an opinion here. And whether we see it in a collective light or an individual light, but what matters is for the students, what's best for students. And that's for everything.
Are you done? Awesome. Thank you. 2 minutes on the floor for questions. Will?
Same question as for Steffi. How do you plan, speaking of all these events that you want to push, for example, how do you plan to balance all of that? I know it gets pretty hectic, so.
Absolutely. I think first key is using our tools for the best advantage. a specific tool that I was looking forward to have provide more organization amongst us and other clubs and other organizations is Roadrunner Link. It's an already established format and system that we have within the university that all university organization clubs officers are able to apply for events. They're able to apply for budget requests. They're able to communicate with us, message us through there. So we're able to establish a lot more, have an organization within our system there, which is a tool, and have an organization set up within our own system as PR, rather than just having chairs, kind of going down to what, and thinking, and also given what Armando said with that administrative individual that could help us out for social media would be better. And I think there's a lot of individuals that can empower PR this year. And I think just a matter of putting them in the right places is key. I think putting aces in their places is where we can strive here. I think there's a lot of talent, and I think there's a lot of dedication that can be simply just
30 seconds.
put in there. So I already have a game plan out. I've also my experience with Tulane also gave me a lot more insight for that.
Sky.
This one's pretty much just for you because it just goes to you, but how do you plan to balance the responsibilities, especially if you are elected one of the
15
chairs of the
seconds.
body, chair of multiple different committees?
To be frank with you all, I could only take about 2 commitments. I do not want to take on more capacity or take away the opportunity from another counselor that can do well in that position.
Time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Can you bring in the next person? Quickly. Thank you. I'm sorry if we don't get to everyone being able to speak. They don't really know how many questions are lined up. Susanna, we're doing a 2-2 method, 2-minute speech, 2 minutes of Q&A, so please take that accordingly. 2 minutes on the clock starting now. Go ahead.
Hello, just presenting myself. I am Susanna, and thank you for the nomination of PR. I like to state that when I first started PR last year, it was really challenging in my own opinion because I honestly did not know where to start. And I feel like I have not just by an biased opinion right now, I have a stronger base of PR. And not only that, it does relate to my major because I do major in public relations. But I have also seen that PR have taught me to communicate and collaborate with other committees and how to support other subcommittees of how they want to market things or how they want to do events or generally just how to spread the resources to students across campuses. And that's a huge passion that I've grown within TSAC. And I would love to continue doing it. I would love continue to grow with it and just to continue to grow with other people who does get elected to this chair. So yeah, that's all I have.
You're yielding your time?
Yeah.
Perfect. 2 minutes on the floor for questions. Good.
Okay. Same question for everyone that's come through. How do you plan to balance all these events that are happening? Last year I definitely was there and saw how many events you had to balance, and how do you plan to do that again? Plan to do that this year. There we go.
So one thing I have planned, this is something I learned from the Tulane trip with the communication person over there. She have told me that she would request events ahead of time by 2 or 3 weeks. I think that's or a month, depending on what type of event we're doing or what type of event the subcommittees or resources we want to spread around. This is something I have thought about and I do want to pursue in public relationship because I feel like that will better help us organize it and better us help to plan it ahead of time instead of being stressed, because last year was really stressful. Even though I did give out the 2 weeks notice, I'm like, hey, I want 2 weeks notice or 3 weeks plus to accordingly plan an event. And even though we did plan an event ahead of time, it was just difficult not being as well organized. And that is something I do want to continue doing in public relations.
Thank you.
Any questions?
What excites you about being on the PR committee?
Honestly, just the student engagement that really excites me the most. Just seeing how a student like just lighten up, just to find a place to de-stress themselves, or just to find the resources they need, or just to find like a quick little snack. I'm a snacky person too. I'm like, you want a snack? There's a snack too. So yeah, that what excites me in PR. But yeah.
All right, 15 seconds. Any last quick questions?
If you were also elected co-chair, how would you balance these two roles?
Now that we have elected chair and vice chair, I would have balanced our role by delegating and separating tasks because you just can't do everything at once.
Time. Thank you for that. And then can you bring in the last person, please?
Does any last question?
That's it.
That's all. Oh, the last person. Okay.
All right, Irvi, thank you so much. We have adopted a 2-2 method to 2 minutes for you to speak and then 2 minutes of Q&A after. 2 minutes on the clock starting now.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm running for PR, and thank you so much for your nominations. I truly appreciate it. And what does PR mean to you all? Is it all just about promotions? Of course not. It's about connection. It's about engagement. It's about authenticity. It's about everything. It's about people value us and we value people. So it's all about connections. It's all about relations we have with people. It connects, it celebrates, it amplifies voices. And I am here to represent 17,000 approx students on our campus as a PR representative to have that voice for students and have that engagement so that they can feel trust, connectivity, engagement, and they can feel
1 minute.
1
minute.
Oh, they can feel related to what they are. My goals for PR are social media engagement. Consistency is the key. I know we have not been working on the summer, and I would like to say that it's about consistency. You post one day about 10 pictures, and 2 months you are just blank. You're not posting anything on social. Of course, this is about consistency. Where are you guys from? Okay. If we need to tell our students who we are, of course, we're not here to bore them, like blah, 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 always giving speeches, who we are, TSAC, TSAC, TSAC. No, we are here to tell who we are through visuals, posters, engagement, social activities, what we do. And for my second pointer, we have let's build and engage with other communities, departments, using their best practices. Thank you so much for yours.
Open for questions.
Sorry.
Well,
Same question I've asked everyone so far. How do you plan to balance all the different events that come your way? Because last year I saw that there was a lot of events coming. Sometimes, people would push events last minute. And how do you plan to balance everything? Like stay organized, whatever, the methods of balancing everything. How do you plan to do that?
Thank you for your question. I would say that balancing things out has always been my key. Because I have been taking 18 credits from all my past semesters, and I have been getting 4.0 GPA. So I would not flex about it, but I would say that I'm good at balancing things out. But with events, I know I'm creative. I can do well. I can believe in myself. I have that gut feeling that I have this feeling that I can improvise. I know I might not be better at first event, but I might improvise through the first event. I might improvise through second event. So I might keep going and improvising and balancing things all together.
1 minute left.
Thank you.
Next question.
What excites you the most about the PR committee?
Thank you for your question again. I would say PR is all about colors, creativity, posters. Oh my God, they all inspire me so much that I would get so attracted. Oh my God, this looks so authentic. Oh my God, this looks so, wow. I'm just losing out of words, but I would say this is my passion and like always ambition about taking and transition to always through making people help better and build this is like related to them. This is like what they feel about and what I feel about helping out people, helping out about everything, what they want, what they need. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
5 seconds.
How do you manage the budget that you will be given?
That is
We were
time.
doing budget.
That's time.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, Irving, if you can take a step outside, please. All right, 2 minutes on the clock, starting now. Open deliberation. Just go ahead.
I've worked with Susanna on PR and stuff last year. She brought PR from the graveyard pretty much. And a lot of it was, I know you're laughing, but it's true. And a lot of it, she drove that vehicle, like brought it back and actually gave PR a base to actually work off of this year. So, and I've seen her again work till like 8 p.m., 8:30, 9 last year with alongside me on other stuff. But she's a very hardworking chair, especially for PR. So I think she's a strong, definitely strong candidate. And also, I love her answer about connecting with students. That is PR right there, connection.
1 minute.
Go ahead.
Okay. I agree with that 100%. I also think that Patrick told us in his little dialogue, whatever you want to call a speech, that he's only willing to take on 2 roles. So I think that in this one, I don't see him, fulfilling it as much as the 3 others. And I think that he can take a stronger position with the budget committee because he has experience. So we want to give him these 2 roles. That would be his 2 roles.
Less than 30.
I gotta say a little different on that with Patrick. Reason I say that is that Patrick's told me specifically about some plans that Patrick has for the PR committee, extensive plans, and I think that they should be able to live them out.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
I would say too that Patrick, he had some of the best organizational skills. I think he had an actual plan for how he was going to organize that he brought.
It is time.
And that's all.
Thank you. All right, Brandon, can you bring those folks back in? I will wait till they go.
Teams?
Yes, I was waiting for everyone to come in so I can announce it formally, but tell them chop chop, please.
I know.
All right, everyone, the voting link is in the Teams chat. Please go ahead and cast your votes. It is 4:43. I will give us 2 minutes to vote on these. Remember, this is just co-chair and PR. Yes.
I ask that we be given time until everyone votes, not just 2 minutes.
Will, the voting link is in the chat, please.
I just some folks were signing in. That's the only reason I said that.
Just because of my mom.
All right, we have one person or one ballot left that we are waiting on.
Going.
All right, you're done? All right, see. Oh, how do I go to? Okay, so for PR chair, our chair, right? It is a chair and then two vice chairs. Our chair for the PR chair is Susana Villagomez. Vice chairs for PR will be Irvi and Steffi.
Yeah.
And then our co-chairs for this year will be Patrick and Sky. Congratulations to those three. We will keep moving forward. We are at 4:45. Is there a motion to extend the meeting to complete internal and then we can complete? We will have to figure this out. First, is there a motion on the floor to extend the meeting about how much?
I motion that we extend the meeting 30 minutes, if that's okay with the council.
All right, there's a motion for
Second.
30 minutes. So that will
Second.
push us to 5:30. Is that okay with everybody? There was a second. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? You have to leave at 5, so just making a motion. Irvi and Cyrus had to leave at 5, and Maria had to leave at 5.
Oh, okay.
So 3 abstentions, that is, or is that comments? Let me start this over. Anyone opposed to 30 minutes? Anyone abstain? All right, moving forward, we're extending our 30 minutes. Moving forward, then we are going into accountability and budget chair. Let's do budget and then accountability. So Irvi and Patrick.
We're just voting for the chairship because budget, if there's only 2 nominations, only 2 positions for budget committee, which is chair and vice chair. So you need 2 people either way.
Go ahead, Will.
So I think the way this could happen is if I made a motion to elect the chair versus the vice chair, and then depending, I don't know if you have accepted the nomination or not so far, both of you. If you have, then maybe if it's amicable to the people running for the budget chair, if whoever doesn't get the chair becomes the vice chair. Is that amicable to?
For my response is more of what if one of us just wants to be the vice chair?
Oh, then, yeah, there's what, yeah, I don't know why we would run a election on that, so.
Okay.
I motion that we adopt Patrick as the vice chair and Irby as the chair.
Well, I just want to actually ask first formally, is that what you're proposing? Patrick, you want to serve as vice chair?
That is what I'm proposing.
Irvi, are you okay in accepting that you will be chair and he will be your vice chair?
Yes.
Okay, so
Easy.
anyone opposed to this? Any abstentions? All right. Congratulations, Irvi, chair of the budget committee, and Patrick, vice chair. Moving into accountability, 1 chair, 2 appointees, so we're only voting for 1 folk. This is Matt and Emma. Matt, Emma, whoever wants to go first. All right, Emma. We will do 2 again, just so we can keep this streamlined. 2 minutes on the clock, starting now.
Hi, I'm Emma. I am new to the council this year. I am running for the Accountability Council because I have a lot of experience with organization, interpersonal conflict, and divulging in really intense documents. I want to talk about that experience. I used to work for a property management company, and I led a team of about 5 to 6 people and directly worked with interpreting leases and divulging into that document. I knew that document like the back of my hand, and I can assure you, if I am the head of the accountability chair, I will know our Constitution front and back better than anything. And that's really important to me. And I really like that, knowing a singular document and working with that and being able to interpret it. I also have really strong organizational skills. Like I said, I had led a team before and worked with being able to stay organized,
1 minute.
keeping on top of things. And then also I want to end with just saying that I know I'm new to the council, but that should add to me being unbiased. I don't know any of you yet, so holding you accountable is going to be pretty easy for me. I'm also very outspoken, so I have no problem interjecting, voicing my opinion, and keeping us on track to make sure we're following our constitution.
So yielding your time.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. 2 minutes on the clock for Q&A starting now. I see Sky and then Faye.
What criteria will you choose your two appointees to be your fellow members of the Accountability Council?
Yeah, I'm looking for people that are, one, really passionate as well. I want them to follow my passion. And then I'm also looking for people that are also unbiased. So people that have shown a dedication to this council, people that are willing to be on time, that'd be really important to me, show up to meetings. And then also just people that are also as organized as I am would be important.
Thank you. Faye's line. Will, good.
What does holding someone accountable mean to you?
Holding somebody accountable, I think it's a community and collective effort. So I do think that it is based off of the values of the group. I think that's important. And holding them accountable is making sure that they show up and participate and be present in the meetings. And then holding them accountable is also making sure people are respecting those around them.
Will.
On
1
that
minute.
same note or similar note, how familiar are you with restorative justice practices since they're in the procedures and guidelines of the committee that you want?
I'm new to the council, so I'm not as familiar with like our direct because I haven't been here. However, I am familiar with restorative justice. I'm a political science major, so that is something that I have delved into with my major and my work.
Patrick.
What are ways that, similar to backing off what Faye said with your interjection with fellow, like holding individuals within the council accountable? How will you manage that, and not just only in an accountability way, but also in an empathetic and understanding way for our counselors to, going out throughout the
10 seconds.
semester, a lot of individuals have school and work.
Yeah, leading with kindness, I think, is the most important part of any leadership role. And holding people accountable, I want to make sure I'm working around their schedule and working with them.
Great job. Thank you so much.
Thank
Can you call Matthew? All right, Matthew, as you know, 2-2. 2 minutes to speak, 2 minutes questions. 2 minutes on the clock starting now.
Hi, so my name is Matthew Rathbun. I'm looking to run for the accountability chair position because I was actually part of the accountability committee last year, working with Will on our constitutional edits, which took hours and hours. So being familiar with the Constitution, I've also been, the accountability's purpose is also to create a restorative justice practice for any internal conflicts within the council. A lot of those policies and procedures and guidelines have not been created yet. So that is my main project that I would love to try and get done this year, is work out and build out that programming for the accountability committee. And to do that, I've already, over this last year, been in contact with Lise Krumholtz and our Dean of Students office, who handles restorative justice on campus. I've also done their training for restorative justice. And I also know the two people who I would like to appoint if I am elected to the chair position, so we can start moving earlier than later. And also trying to work on incorporating or working with the right university officials to outline like our the sunshine law, so all of us know exactly what we need to be doing at every time, where there's less questions around that. And really just making everything clearer and more transparent for what happens if there is conflict within the council. I'll actually concede.
Are you in your time? Awesome. 2 minutes on the clock. Sky, Will, Faye, and I think that.
How will you hold the chairs, committee chairs, and appointed representatives on university committees accountable to their added responsibility?
So first, I would want to make sure that the accountability committee as a whole because I'm not trying to be a dictator for this committee at all. That's the whole point of it. Is to work with those committees and set reasonable expectations to begin with, so they know what expectations. Some of them are clearly written in the Constitution, but making sure that they understand what they are, so they're also not being held accountable for what seems to be arbitrary responsibilities.
Real quick. How familiar, excuse me, same question. How familiar are you with restorative justice practices? Some of them being outlined in the procedures and outlines. Yeah.
So our procedures right now are very vague on that. But what I've done to educate myself on that, again, I have done the restorative justice training. I'm actually trying to make the guideline, or my vision of the guidelines for the accountability committee and restorative justice is to build them in a way to where the next accountability chair does not have to be an expert in the subject. In fact, trying to work with Lise Krumholz and the Restorative Justice Coalition on campus to potentially even like step in if
30 seconds.
we need somebody else who has that expertise. And I've also read the whole Restorative Justice Handbook.
What does holding someone accountable mean to you?
Accountability to me is making sure they're doing what they need to do, but not just in a punitive sense, but also making sure that they have the capacities to meet that. And if not, they're communicating at least that maybe they do need more time or someone else needs to take over.
That is time. Thank you. If you can step outside for me, guys. All right, we will have 2 minutes of deliberation starting now. Open talk, please.
Open talk.
Yes.
As a previous chair of the accountability committee and pretty much reforming it from what it was, which it was the judiciary committee, which was much more focused on penalizing counselors. Me and Matt decided that, Henry decided that it was best if we went with a different approach, which was the restorative justice approach. And me and Matt worked, I can't name how many hours, it probably entire days worth of hours on the Constitution and making sure that it could be brought to the council in a way that would make every counselor on the council feel comfortable voting on it and amending it. And that takes a lot of time thinking about all the different loopholes and whatnot. I just want to say Matt definitely has that experiences, and he is receptive, which is very critical for that role.
Yeah. And I think also agree, Matt was part of the accountability committee with us last year. Me, Will being the chair. And Matt, like Will said, he did write the Constitution, help readjust and, reframe the Constitution to what we're expecting this year. Also don't want to give the benefit of the doubt to Emma that she's also been in a similar role before. However, I feel someone individual that has 3 years of experience of the accountability committee
20
itself
seconds.
and knowledge of the university is also very well.
I love Matt for the way that he argues. It's very respectful. It's very good, and it's genuinely great.
Anyone else? All right, can you bring them back in, please? Polls in the chat. Use the chat. All right, 12 responses in. Congratulations to our new accountability chair, Matthew Rathba. All right. Yes, Matthew.
Since I actually already know the two people I want to appoint, would
We-
this be a good time for me to voice that?
I was going to pose, we have a lot of other positions to go through, so we need to figure out what we're doing for that. What do y'all want to hear? The accountability vice chair or committee, or do you want to keep going with the rest of the positions?
I motion that we let Matt just pick right now, since he already knows.
Second.
Second.
Awesome. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? All right, Matthew, floor is yours.
If they both still accept it, I would like to appoint Cyrus Holt and Emma Fox.
Cyrus Holt and Emma Fox, you have been nominated.
Accept.
Awesome,
I also accept.
awesome, perfect. Congratulations.
Beautiful.
All right, so moving forward, we have 30 minutes and we have 1, 2, 3. We have a good amount of positions to go through. So what we can do is we will open, or what we can do is we can open nominations for all. If any are uncontested, that's how it is. For those that are contested, if it's more than 2, we'll have to find a way to do speeches. Hopefully we can do it today. If it's just 2, we will throw it in the chat with speeches. I think we were going to limit down to 1-minute speeches just for ease of time. Any oppositions, questions, other suggestions?
I motion to approve that.
I second.
Awesome. Love it. Any oppositions? Any abstentions? All right. All in favor. Perfect. So moving forward, we will do faculty. We'll do these 2 because y'all did want to separate these. Faculty Senate representative, open nominations. Who would like to nominate themselves or nominate others for that? I see Faye.
I'd like to nominate myself.
All right. Faye for Faculty Senate. Anybody else? Want to speak up? Now's your chance. Going once, going twice. All right. Congratulations, Faye, our new Faculty Senate representative. Staff Senate, opening nominations. Any nominations on the floor? We have to get people in these roles, y'all.
These are separate.
These are now separate roles. Yeah, they're separated.
They're
So-
separated.
Yes. So one is faculty, one is staff. So this is for Staff Senate. Will.
I nominate Faye. I do think that would be a good, like, tackle, like, double, like, woo, woo, kind of thing.
Faye, do you accept this nomination?
I accept.
All right. Anyone else want to go for Staff Senate rep? Once. Wait, twice. All right. Congratulations, Faye. All right. Moving into. We will do SAB. This is a chair and vice chair.
It's either.
It's 2 people.
It's 2 people.
Opening nominations on the floor. SAB, remember, this is the folk that help student affairs with hearing budget and proposing new budgets for the student fee allocations. Patrick.
I nominate Steffi for that position.
Okay. Steffi, do you accept or decline?
I accept the nomination.
Yes. So cool. Sky.
I was gonna nominate Steffi and Cy.
All right. So Steffi's already nominated and accepted. Cy, do you accept or deny?
I'll accept the nomination.
Awesome. Matthew.
I was gonna nominate Emma.
Emma, do you accept or deny for SAP? Student Affairs Board.
Right.
I accept.
Awesome. Interesting. Anyone else? All right. Cy, go ahead.
Can I withdraw my exception now?
I see what you're doing. Yes, you can withdraw.
Okay, I withdraw.
Anyone else? Going once, going twice. All right, congratulations, Steffi and Emma. Next, we will go into the policy committees. Up back, University Planning and Budget. Open floor for nominations. So I saw Sky, Will, Cy.
I nominate Rowan.
All right, Rowan, do you accept or deny?
I accept.
Awesome. Will?
I nominate Matt.
Matthew, do you accept or deny?
I'll accept.
All right, thank you. Sky.
I will nominate Sky.
All right, Sky, do you accept or deny?
I'll accept.
Awesome. So we have Rowan, Matthew, and Sky. Since this is contested, we're gonna come back to this after. I want to get all the nominations done. Next is University Policy Committee. Open the floor for nominations. Sky.
I'll nominate myself.
All right. Patrick.
I'll nominate William Coates.
William Coates, do you accept or deny?
Denied.
All right.
You deny everything. I even respect.
Yeah, remember, everyone has to have a role here. Anyone else? Was that a hand, Emma?
What? No, sorry.
Okay. Okay. All right, so we just have Sky for University Policy. Are you cool? You're still good with that? Sky, go ahead.
And then I want to retract my acceptance of back.
Whoa. Okay. All right, so Sky is sitting for University Policy, and then up back is confirmed Rowan and Matthew. Cool? Let's give a round of applause. 2 people. Oh, wait, we got to do a vote for that one. You're right. My bad.
We can do that.
Retract. Shared governance. Opening the floor for nomination.
I nominate myself.
Awesome. Anybody else?
I also nominate Will.
Okay, 2 for Will.
I nominate myself.
Maria, perfect. Anyone else? Alguien más? No? All right. Next is Tivoli Reimagined. This will work with state capital. Just Patrick, Sky, Matt.
I would like to nominate myself for Tivoli.
Thank you.
I will also like to nominate myself.
Okay.
I nominate Sai. I was also the last person to attend the meeting, and I will counsel whoever gets it.
Huh? You will cancel whoever gets
Counsel.
Oh, council, gotcha. Sorry.
Update.
Matthew.
I'll nominate Will.
Will. So we have Patrick, Cyrus, and Will. Patrick, do you accept this nomination?
I do.
Cyrus, do you accept?
Yes.
Will, do you accept?
No, thank you.
All right. So Patrick and Cy, we will come back for that. Student travel. Opening floor for nominations.
I nominate budget chair herself, Irvi.
Irvi, do you accept or deny?
I accept.
Awesome, thank you. Anyone else?
Question, is it a 2-person or a 1-person?
One person.
Okay.
Cy.
I nominate William.
Will, do you accept or deny?
Sure.
Is-
Yes,
is
I
that or deny?
accept.
Awesome, thank you. Anyone else for student travel committee? This is also potential. We have to figure out what the actuality of the deal of this is, just so you know. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Cool. Academic Policy Committee. Okay,
I'll nominate myself.
awesome. Irving,
I nominate Sky.
Sky, do you accept or deny?
No, I nominate Faye.
You are denying your nomination. Perfect. And you are nominating Faye. Recorded. Emma.
I'd like to nominate myself.
Awesome. Thank you. Patrick.
I wanted to nominate Maria, and I wanted to also nominate Emma.
Maria and Emma. Maria, do you accept or deny?
I deny.
You deny? Are you confident in that? Okay.
She's standing.
And Emma, you already nominated yourself, correct?
I did.
Cool. So right now it's just Faye and Emma. Any other nominations? No? All right. Moving into Space Analysis Committee. Opening the floor.
Question.
Yes.
What is that? No, I'm serious.
I can just
Grab
answer.
that one for you as well.
Because we don't know what it is really. Space Analysis is working with the Mejia team and figuring out space analysis across the buildings here, JSSB, Tivoli, what the new building will be. So kind of fitting offices, people, roles, student services in these different organizations. Is that correct, Stephen?
Yeah, it's MSU and AHEC buildings combined, but it's really MSU leading the process here.
So if you like campus planning, this would be an opportunity for you.
Sounds fun. I nominate myself.
Okay. Sky.
I nominate Rowan.
So Rowan, do you accept or deny?
I accept.
So anyone else? Okay. Closing space analysis, safety center committee, same thing, but it's on the concept of building a safety center here on the campus. Opening the floor, I see your side, then Sky, Will, Maria.
I nominate Sky.
Sky, do you accept or deny?
I accept because there won't be much.
Sky, who was your nomination?
I was gonna nominate myself
Oh,
because I saw it
cool.
previously.
Will.
Oh, me? Oh, I nominate Matt since he's already the accountability chair.
Awesome. Matthew, do you accept or deny?
I'll accept.
Awesome.
I
Maria,
retract my nomination of myself.
1 second. Maria,
I nominate Matt.
you nominate Matt. Okay, he already accepted. What was you saying, sir? I'm sorry.
I retract my acceptance of my nomination.
So it's just Matt. Okay. Congratulations. Interagency planning group. What is this?
Yeah, hang on. I'm really sorry, folks, that anyway. Interagency group is comprehensive new infrastructure review process. So that's looking at MSU Denver. You could probably throw it into ChatGPT and figure out what that means, but I don't quite know what they're looking for. My initial interpretation is that they're going to look at systems, processes, functionality of an institution and review it.
Sounds interesting. Open the floor for nominations. I hear Matt.
I'll throw myself in.
Cool. Anyone else? Faye.
I'll also nominate myself for this one.
Awesome. Anybody else? Going once, going twice, closing, okay. And then lastly, the period project, opening the floor for nominations. Oh, Steffi, Patrick, Sky, Susanna. Steffi.
I nominate myself.
So
It's wrong.
this is one person because they are struggling with communication.
I would like to nominate Susanna.
Okay. Susanna, do you accept or deny?
I accept my nomination.
Okay. Sky?
I nominate Susanna.
Perfect. Susanna, you were nominating yourself. Irvi?
I would ask.
The period project is working with the health center Margarita Ratliff to promote menstrual products and supplies across campus. It was an initiative that started about 2 years ago. They got 3 dispensers.
I nominate myself.
Okay. So we have Steffi, Susanna, Irvi. Did I miss anyone on this side? Going once, going twice. All right. So as it stands, we have contested positions for Tivoli Reimagined, Patrick and Cyrus. Tivoli Reimagined, Patrick and Cyrus. Shared Governance, William and Maria. Upback, Rowan and Matthew. Student Travel, Irvi and Will. Academic Policy, Faye and Emma. Space Analysis, Will and Rowan. Interagency Planning Group, Matt and Faye, and then Period Projects, Steffi, Susanna, and Irvi. We will start with those who are most contested. So Period Project, it is 513. Oh, so sorry, y'all. Patrick and then Sky.
So is Tivoli Reimagined only one person? Because I thought last semester we had Victor and Mike on it.
From what I understood,
What
it
did
was,
it say?
This
it
is
was,
my.
it was SACAB.
I got you.
Sky.
So I have personal knowledge of the people that are doing the Tivoli Reimagine project. They'd be fine with 2 people. I say we send both. So yeah, I say we approve them.
Will.
I retract my nomination from the student travel.
Okay.
Congrats, Irby.
Matthew, did you have anything? No? Okay.
Okay.
So going back up to Period Project, we will do, yes.
So can we do ranked choice vote real quickly on a ballot and we can move on while he gets it ready?
Ranked choice, yes, we can do that, but we wanted to hear speeches first, no?
Do people want to do speeches?
I would say yes.
Fair democracy,
I
equity.
guess, I'm just asking if they don't want to, then that's also fine.
So for period project, would you all like to do speeches? Or do you want to just let people choose? Okay. Okay, cool. So we would do 1 minute speeches. Does the council want deliberation?
Motion to have no deliberation.
Anyone, all right, anyone opposed to no deliberation? You're opposed?
I retract myself.
Okay.
Oh my God. Sorry. Okay. Does that motion pass, Fonto?
That motion passed. Anyone on
Thank
no deliberation? So we have 2 people running for period project, interagency, space analysis, academic policy, back, shared governance, SAB, and Tivoli Reimagined. Tivoli Reimagined, we have been told by Council Member Sky that they are open to 2 people. Patrick and Cyrus, are you willing to work together on that?
Yes.
You.
Okay,
Motion to approve
congratulations.
both of them.
Second,
Seconded.
anyone opposed? Any abstain? Congratulations. SAB, Steffi and Emma, they're conferred. So this is done. I'm so sorry, y'all. Shared governance, William Maria, would you all like to do just a vote in the chat or would you like to do speeches?
Up to you.
Anything is fine.
We need a decision.
All right.
Can we do like 30-second speeches?
Perfect for me.
All right.
All right. 30 seconds in the chat. Do you all want to leave or do you all want to just stay?
I'm fine with staying.
I'm also fine with staying.
Is the council fine with them staying?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. 30 seconds on the clock. William, you'll go first.
Okay.
Starting now.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. I have previous experience with the other 2 universities here on campus with CU Denver and CCD and working collaboratively with them on different events. Last year, for example, we worked with CCD on that Chinese New Year, right? I'm sure some of us were there that day. I already have a lot of strong relationships with CU Denver's new president and CCD's elected new officials. Thank you.
I have a
Thank
point
you.
of information.
Yes.
I believe that committee is regarding shared governance within MSU Denver, not other area campus.
Correct.
If you want to, I would be amicable to you.
That is
doing
with
it.
David Fine, Shared Governance Committee.
Oh, never mind. I retract my whole nomination.
Do you retract your nomination or like, do you withdraw that or are you retracting your speech?
No, I'm withdrawing.
Okay.
Okay, so congratulations, Maria. Up back, Rowan and Matthew, would you like to do speeches or just fate? 3, 2. You're fine with fate? Okay, we will put that in the chat in just a second. Academic policy, Faye and Emma, speeches or fate? Please, no pressure on choosing fate. I want you all to advocate for yourselves.
Second speech.
All right, 30 seconds starting now. Faye, go ahead.
Yeah, I am a double major, so I have 2 departments that are going to be impacted by any academic policy. Also, with already being elected to both staff and faculty senate, these feel like a lot of spaces that have a lot of things that will all be impacted together. And I feel like I'd be in a good position to bring all of that feedback back to the council.
Thank you. 30 seconds, go ahead.
I also have an interdisciplinary minor, which I think is really important for academic policy. I also want to advocate for all of these students, which I feel are most impacted, and I will make sure to bring everything back to us.
Awesome. Cool. All right, I am throwing that in the chat right now, along with the other committee. Up back, okay. As we keep voting, can you scroll down for me, please? Space analysis, Will and Rowan. Speeches or fate?
Up to you.
I'm all right with fate.
Are you good with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I will throw that in the chat now. Interagency, Matt and Faye. Speeches or fate?
It's kind of fate since we don't fully know.
You don't
what
really know what it
is.
is. I get that. For the record showing, they're choosing to move forward.
Also, will of the council, not fate. But
Okay.
It's just a joke. Anyway, go ahead.
And then period project, Steffi and Susana.
I actually wanted to suggest something. I talked to Margarita in the past and I feel like not one person should do this. I feel like two persons should do this. Just to have like a better communication with Maggie. So I'm not opposed of working with Steffi and having two people.
Steffi, do you accept? Steffi, do you
Yeah.
accept? Okay, perfect. Okay, so
Motion to
what,
approve that.
Yeah.
Second that motion.
any abstention? Any opposition? Thank you. Congratulations to you too. So enter. All right, so I am throwing interagency in the chat.
Throw the iterate. Names. It's the things we say.
Got up back, right?
That's probably close enough to price though.
Yeah.
That is for.
What's left?
Not all of them. Now we just left to vote.
Yeah,
Oh,
we just have to count those.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yes, those polls, everyone should be good at this point. Okay, so for up back. Give me 2 seconds, I have to sign in.
Motion to extend the meeting by 20 more minutes.
Second that motion.
Okay, any opposition?
I'll be the first for the year. I oppose that.
Okay,
I also oppose.
so 2 opposed.
I
1
opposed
abstain,
to, I changed.
3 opposed.
I oppose.
Hold on, we're gonna do roll call. Matthew,
Yes. Or
yes to extend. Okay, Will,
Nay.
nay, Sai,
Yay.
yay to extend.
Yes to extend.
Yes, to extend.
Abstain.
Yes. No.
Nay.
Nay.
Yay.
No.
That is 5.
How many no's, how many yeses? The other thing.
1, 2, 3,
Don't count abstains at all.
yes, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it gets extended.
5 yeses.
Yes, meeting is extended. If you need to leave, please, you're more than welcome to leave. Okay. So for up back committee, congratulations, Matthew, as the new up back committee representative. For academic committee, congratulations to Emma. And we are waiting for 1 more person to vote in interagency and then 3 more for space analysis.
That's how.
Agency, I don't remember. For interagency, For interagency, it is a tie. Matthew and Faye. What does the Constitution say on tiebreakers?
I
I'm looking at you.
propose to split it between both of you.
Matthew and Faye, are you okay with that, splitting the role? And then you can figure out as time goes. If
Yeah,
one
I was
wants
like,
to-
if the people we're representing to are fine with that, I am so fine with that.
Matthew,
Yeah, we can figure out as we actually learn more about what it is.
love it. Thank you.
I motion that we split that just to make things proper.
I second.
All right. Anyone in opposition? Abstention? All in favor? Okay, moving forward, interagency will be split between Matthew and Faye. And then space analysis, we're still waiting on somebody.
Motion to give it 10 seconds and then count it as an abstain.
Any second?
Second.
Any abstention? Or any opposition?
Space analysis.
Abstention? All right, all in favor? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Congratulations to space analysis, Will Coates. All right. Congratulations, council. You have preliminarily filled your board. As you all see, needs and your capacity is stretched. Please do work with each other to balance the work out. This does not mean that you cannot sit on other committees. These committees are made within each other, so you are going to have to rely on each other to get the work done. I do want to make that clear. There's a lot of committees who, they rely on each other and they need manpower, woman power, individuals to just step up and do the work. So please do take that into account. Sky, before we move on.
Also, we didn't exactly go over it, but by being on an advisory committee, you're responsible to go to those meetings. If you can't make a meeting, you are allowed to appoint a counselor to go in your stead for that meeting temporarily. FYI.
All right, so we have 14 more minutes on the clock. Left we have is the resolution to continue the delegate pilot program. Brandon, can you pull that up? Who are the authors of this resolution?
Point of clarification, we have 24 minutes left. I extended it 20 minutes additional from the 5:30 deadline we had before.
There's an original 30-minute extension.
I apologize. Who are we reading this resolution?
I can read it, I guess. Okay. Ayo. We're continuing the delegate program, just from last semester. We've made some changes. We met and talked about them, 6 of us. Then had some revisions, workshops with, Will Coates and with, Matthew. Not that they're endorsing, but FYI. Resolution to continue the delegate pilot program. Authored by Cy Holt, Rowan East, Sky Childress, Steffi Ayala. Is that right? What?
Calero.
Oh, okay. Okay. And Irvi Pop. Abstract. SG TSAC recognizes the interest of students across campus in participating in SG TSAC. The council has struggled to maintain its participatory interest in previous years, as demonstrated through election turnouts and the sheer lack of students that run for counselor. Further, the university has growing needs for student participation that the council is not always able to fill due to counselors' existing commitments and the limited size of the council. SGTSAC's solution to this problem was to implement the delegate pilot program during the spring 2025 semester. SGTSAC will continue this program for the 2025-2026 academic year with the intention of revising the program to be a more permanent part of the council incorporated into the Constitution. Whereas additional students, delegates, would be beneficial to the council by bringing diverse perspectives to the business of SGTSAC. Whereas in the spring 2025 semester, the student delegates were able to serve in spaces that counselors were unable to commit to. Whereas this resolution also aims to bridge the gap between students interested in SGTSAC and those who are elected as counselors to help establish a clearer path for the general student body to become more involved with SGTSAC. Whereas the reestablishment of the delegate program will further SGTSAC's goal of reaching more students and will provide the student body with a better understanding of our purpose and mission. Therefore, be it resolved, SGTSAC will adopt a delegate pilot program utilizing the guidelines listed below. This program will be in place initially for the 2025-2026 academic year, with the goal of having the council, 1, decide to keep the program and incorporate it into the Constitution, or 2, decide to end the program. Preface. This program may be ended or changed by the council by a simple motion, second, and majority vote. This pilot program was initially and successfully tested in spring 2025 and is being continued so the council can determine what aspects, if any, to eventually incorporate into the Constitution. Delegates' role and purpose. Delegates serve as non-elected members of SGTSAC, but are appointed by the elected councilors, and as such are still representatives of the student body. Delegates work to further the vision of SGTSAC just as councilors do, but with a lesser commitment. The position of delegate is a standalone position within SGTSAC, but can be a stepping stone to being a councilor. Delegate Oversight Committee. As a part of the delegate pilot program, SGTSAC creates the Delegate Oversight Committee. This committee must consist of not less than 3 councilors. Committee members are appointed by SGTSAC by a majority vote. The purpose of the Delegate Oversight Committee is to oversee the implementation of the program, perform periodic check-ins with the delegates, ensure the delegates are actively aiding the council in its mission, and facilitating any restorative justice process that becomes necessary, up to and including referring delegates to the council for sanction or expulsion from the program. In addition to regular duties, the Delegate Oversight Committee is responsible for working with the PR Committee to advertise the program and get the program up and running. The Delegate Oversight Committee will decide what the selection process will look like, perform the interview process, and ensure the success of selecting the delegates. The Delegate Oversight Committee will recommend delegates to the council to be selected, but the actual choice of who is selected will be the choice of the council by a majority vote. The Delegate Oversight Committee will take up any responsibilities of overseeing the delegate program that SGTSAC's advisors previously held in spring 2025. However, advisors are welcome to be present at the delegate interviews as observers if they choose. Delegate program structure. SGTSAC will take on a maximum of 8 delegates with no minimum requirement. The minimum eligibility to be a delegate is to maintain enrollment as a student at MSU Denver. Rights and responsibilities. Delegates will attend all SGTSAC general meetings unless notification is given to the council of at least 24 hours or extreme circumstances occur, as determined by the Delegate Oversight Committee. Delegates will be appointed to the council to serve on a standing committee. There is no prohibition on delegates serving on advisory committees when appointed by the council or delegated by a current advisory committee representative to serve in such a capacity temporarily. Delegates can vote on any committees they are appointed to. If the committee is restricted by the SGTSAC Constitution to only councilors, the delegates will serve as non-voting members, but will have the right to attend all meetings of that committee. This right will not include executive sessions of committees. Delegates may propose new business, contribute to ongoing business, and assist councilors in any way the council sees fit, only being allowed to submit legislation if a councilor co-authors or endorses. Delegates have the right to attend and be recognized during meetings without any need for councilors to yield time to them. It is at the discretion of the council whether delegates are allowed to attend executive sessions of general meetings, to be decided on a case-by-case basis. Delegates will be given badge access to the SGTSAC Lounge, Tivoli 307, so that they can more effectively advocate for students. Delegates will be given access to the SGTSAC SharePoint. Delegates must meet at least monthly with the SGTSAC Delegate Oversight Committee. The Delegate Oversight Committee has broad discretion to waive responsibilities for any individual delegates to ensure that they can advocate for students, but has no authority to waive the minimum eligibility criteria of maintaining enrollment as a student at MSU Denver. Any waiver of responsibilities should be communicated to the council in an appropriate forum. Sanction or expulsion of any delegate and any change to the program as a whole must be done in a general meeting of SGTSAC. Recognition or perks. A delegate will receive full compensation of $500 per semester if the delegate meets all requirements of the program. Payments for the fall semester will be processed in December, and payments for the spring semester will be processed in May. Delegates will gain valuable experience with student government procedures and processes, including familiarity with advocacy for the student populace that could be very useful in a campaign for counselor or a career in an advocacy-related field. Implementation. This pilot program starts with the passage of this resolution. Upon the start of this program, the council will appoint the Delegate Oversight Committee to start the election process. The Delegate Oversight Committee and the council will decide the timeline of the program.
All done.
I'm so sorry. Opening the floor for a discussion.
We can go back up into the payment.
Matthew had his hand raised.
Oh.
You read that though, Matthew.
I do have some concerns about this resolution still, because the way it's written right now, there's not a good enough distinction in my head of the difference between a delegate and a council member.
Okay.
I have to agree with Matthew too.
Likewise, further then we're also gonna be allocating 4,000 of our budget to 8,000. No,
It's 1,000 versus
8,500 to, yeah, yeah, $8,000 of our total budget, which, do we know our budget yet?
No change. Okay, Emma, that's Sky.
I also have pretty big concerns about the budget as well. And then the limitation on the delegates in the program kind of makes it sound like it's almost an electable position, which then makes it sound very similar to a counselor. So to tie that all together, and then also I think something to add to this would be maybe something about being a mentorship program, because then it's not just a role, it provides us something too.
Sky.
Yeah, so to the folks that are thinking that delegates are too similar to counselors under this resolution, what do you think would need to be different for you not to think that?
Matthew.
Can you scroll up some? Yeah, that's good. Sorry, maybe just a little bit more. Trying to find the exact line. Because there's a line in here that says that they do. Dang it, where is it? Oh, yeah, the line, but no, up just there. Yeah, right there. So second, under delegates' roles and responsibilities, delegates work to further the mission of MSU TSAC with injunction counselors, but with a lesser commitment. Not lesser power, lesser commitment. So it's basically saying we're working together as equals. They just have less of a commitment than we do.
Okay, do you have suggested language to change that to?
Personally, I think delegates would be more, again, like mentees / like legislative aides than as equals. And not to say that like having delegates is what we want, like there's reason for it, but they're also not elected. And I don't think they should have some of these powers that are outlined in here.
Okay, I was more supposed to thinking about this one line, but if you're thinking about the powers, could we go to that section and possibly, I mean,
for
we're open
the
to changes.
One line, at the very bare minimum, less power. Because
Okay.
again, all it's saying right there is we're equals, they just work less.
Patrick.
Could you scroll down, Brandon, to the delegate oversight right there? So it did say here that the delegate program, they have to go to the, wait, was it here? It was the one where it was stating that they have to go to every meeting of the Student Government Council. So that's about the same commitment in terms, because last semester, if I recall, we had half of our delegates be able to participate within our meetings, and that wasn't every meeting. We had a requirement, I recall, one project and one meeting a month that each delegate has to do, purely because of the commitment reason, because if individuals that wanted to be participate as delegates, they were given the chance to be elected officials as counselors, and then they were able to do all these things. Whereas a delegate, it's the lesser commitment. It's the fact that I don't have to be here every Friday to do these meetings. So I think that's one part that it's giving them, kind of similar to what Matt and what Susan is saying. There isn't too much of a difference between a counselor and a delegate. And we had to run a whole election for 2 months.
Your comment?
Yeah, so as far as the amount of time they need to be at the meeting, so coming to all of our meetings, that was one thing that we talked about in our meeting day we had with the 6 of us, or the 5 of us. 5 of us signed on, 6 of us were there, with the 6 of us. And we all agreed that, and most of us that were there were delegates from the previous year. We all agreed that one of the main reasons we felt uninformed about what was happening in TSAC, or the main reasons we felt like we weren't necessarily as closely related to the work, was because we weren't at the meetings. And we thought that it would be a catalyst to get you into the work if you're coming to our meetings. Another thought while adding these responsibilities on to these delegates is that the delegate oversight committee can waive any responsibilities for individuals. So if a delegate has taken on the Tivoli Reimagined Steering Committee and has taken that up from the counselor that gets it, and that they're really passionate about it, and they come and they report back once a month on it after they have their meetings, and the delegate oversight committee views that as advocacy enough for their role as a delegate, then they could just waive the requirement to come to those meetings on those other days of the month. It would be more of a case by case basis. And at the start of the program, though, every delegate would need to come to every meeting until they start some of those substantial advocacy projects. I think one of the main differences between this one and the last one is that we aren't requiring one substantial project per month as a wording, because it's a little subjective and it's really hard to understand exactly what that means. Instead, just working directly with the delegate oversight committee to find out what can this program do for you. But when you're first appointed as a delegate, you should be here at every meeting until you have that sort of understanding. That's what our thoughts were.
Is that do you have a direct
Yeah.
comment?
So I don't have any disagreement with the delegate oversight committee. I actually, in fact, I do like that aspect about this. However, in terms, like a rebuttal to what you're saying that you guys were lost, each of these meetings are recorded and posted online every day, after each meeting. So if a delegate doesn't want to, what we could do is you are held responsible and keeping up with the actions and the items we're doing. We could also, in order, as much what we could do for the PR committee is post those news and updates that we're gonna do within after each meeting. That way delegates don't have to be here. The biggest thing here is for time. We already set our time aside, made our commitment to that. We will delegate ourselves to this because we voted in here. Delegates, on the other hand, are either transfer students or students that are interested within here. So they may have other commitments that they're not unable to participate on each of these. If the problem is that there isn't a lack of information up between each meeting, then we could put in there that they have to be, stay up to date. And everyone has YouTube, or you can go to a lab and you can just look at the TSAC meeting. Likewise, I think what we could keep on with the delegate oversight committee, is making sure that people are up to date with that and assuring that, the delegate program, and also rewriting to be more specific to what you said, that it's just too vague to say a substantial project. We could be more specific to that if that's the case. But I would see, what's too much of a difference is that they just can't be chairs.
Okay, I do see Emma and then Faye. And then I got you, Sky.
I also, the line just right above here under, talking about being a stepping stone to being a counselor, I think that would need to be reworded because that almost sounds like they could be a counselor within the school year. I think it could maybe inspire them to join the council, but not just be a stepping stone. I think that's part of what the issue with this that we're talking about is that separation of power is not, the separation of power is not distinct enough within here. And then again, I just want to go back to the budget too. If we're requiring them to go to every meeting, that the payment feels fair for that. However, if you're requiring them to go to every meeting, that's one, going to discourage people from joining the program because that's too much of a time commitment. And then also it doesn't distinguish them from us.
Okay. Or did you have a direct comment?
I had a direct comment to Patrick.
Okay, so let's do Faye and then we can let you go ahead. Faye.
I was going to put a motion to table because we have 7 minutes and it is almost 6 p.m. now.
Yes.
And we still have one more item on the agenda that we should probably get to. So I was going to put a motion to table this to our next meeting, which would not be.
I would like to speak on that motion before we vote on it.
Go ahead.
I would prefer we just table the next item on the agenda instead.
I have a direct comment to that.
Faye and then Will.
With the amount of discussion that this has brought up, I don't think we will have time to finish it in the next 7 minutes.
That was my comment.
6 minutes now.
That was my comment.
Okay, so the motion's on the floor and it was seconded. So motion to table this resolution and to keep workshopping. Great job on this resolution. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? Okay, all in favor? Resolution is motion. Resolution is motioned or is tabled for the next meeting. All right, moving into discussion on SGTSAC website. Stephen.
Yeah, thanks everyone. So there have been a lot of questions and comments about the website. How can we make it more efficient? Why can't we have an external website? What is the impetus behind all of this? So I had a conversation with some of the IT folks, and there are a couple policies that I don't want to say dictate, but sort of show what we do as TSAC. Now, remember, as TSAC, you're a shared governance organization, so you are affiliated with MSU Denver. So the first policy that I'm going to cite is the MSU Denver brand policy. Specifically under that policy, there's websites and web application policy section. The scope of this policy applies to all websites and web applications affiliated with MSU Denver and includes websites created and maintained by MSU Denver department, faculty, staff, students, or any other organizations associated with the university. So under the policy section, there is a section that states that MSU Denver's brand and identity are exclusive property of the university, and therefore the use of the brand and identity on websites and web applications requires prior written approval from the university communications and marketing team. Therefore, if any organization wanted to create an external website, they would have to get permission from MARCOM as well as the Office of Information Technology. Now, under a section called acquisition of new websites and website applications, there's a section there that under that section, the language reads, acquisition of a third-party service must be reviewed and approved by ITS, which is our Information Technology Office, through a service desk ticket. To me, that says permission is required. So if we were to ever do that, we would have to ask for permission. What I will share with you is that it will go through various levels of permission. So in order to achieve that, it would have to receive all levels of permission to go to, and for any organization, student, any organization affiliated with MSU Denver to go with an external website. There is another portion of brand policy, well, not brand policy, is the device and infrastructure security, information and technology policy. Under the scope of this policy, it states that contractors and otherwise affiliated individuals must agree to abide by the information security policies before accessing university systems and data. What that says is a lot of outside organizations have less restrictions than what the university has. So if you've ever been on a university computer, you can access certain things, other things you can't. For example, we tried to play music in this room at one point. If it was through Spotify or something, the computer system shuts down, the projectors turn off because of copyright. So the IETS system is completely locked down at this institution. And really, it just says that outside organizations would have to have policies or restrictions that align with university security policies. It also says that software installations and updates must be performed using approved IT service processes, and any software acquisitions, including free software, again, must be approved by IT services. Now, while a website is not exactly a device, the interpretation from IT with this is that it would have to follow OIT protocol, not just a device, but a website to be functional at MSU Denver. Final thing I'll share about this is networking devices attached to MSU Denver networks are to be installed and maintained by MSU Denver IT services, networking administrators, or other authorized IT services. While this isn't necessarily a device, but devices or technology need to be installed and maintained by MSU Denver IT services. And those that aren't authorized by it cannot, only those authorized by IT. So again, we'd have to work with IT to do that. Finally, Any, under the same section, any technical systems or services which will require MSU Denver computing and networking infrastructure must be reviewed and approved by IT services to purchase and implementation. Again, this is saying that OIT would have to approve the acquisition of an external website as well as Marcom, since there would be logo usage with that. So if that is something that TSAC as a whole wants to pursue, and if they would have to, if you did pursue that, you would have to decide as a council to do that. And there would be varying levels of permission that you would have to gain to do that. I yield my time.
Okay, we only have about 1 minute, probably 30 seconds left. I saw Matthew, Patrick, Sky.
Why can't we use the schools?
We can.
We can.
We can.
But we
this
can't.
oh, you as students.
Us as TSAC cannot use the website.
Point of order. Motion to extend by 5 minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Abstention? Anyone in opposition?
Yes.
Yes, me too.
I oppose.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Anyone?
Motion to close.
The meeting?
Yes, because it didn't pass.
Okay. Anyone second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome. Thank you.
Aye.
Congratulations, TSAC, on your first meeting.
6 p.m., baby.
10 hours.
No, I get it. 3 hours and 40 minutes.
If you choose not to extend it, I want to close it.
I'm like,
And it's okay if there's more to talk about.
Everyone,
Respect people's time.
Let's get out of here, bro. You'll definitely get familiar with that concept.
Absolutely.
Oh.
But I was about to see the important.
Okay.
Because the issue is.
Academic.
Yeah.
Get it being like. Yeah, we're working together.
That was a very quick one. That was good. That was good.
the conversation. I have to be ready this year.
What are you the chair?
That's the thing that I know you have to get.
Most of that was.
I ended up with